or chicken sandwich for under $10 today. The Mine Chef's Wednesday and Friday fish fry, now $4.99 if you dine in. That's amazing. And on Thursday, speaking of amazing, buy one pizza, get one free. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh, just off the interstate. Just walk on in today for your $4.99 fish fry. Desserts, I love their desserts. Make sure you check them out. MineshaftRestaurant.com. It's the Mine Shaft.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With the weather getting warmer, our prices get even hotter. When you visit our showroom, you'll see all the finest brands of lights and ceiling fans. BBC is Wisconsin's largest supplier to new home builders, contractors, and designers. And we display all the famous brands such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Hubbard & Forge, and hundreds more. Our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and on Saturday from 10 to 4. We are located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for Badger Fence. If you listen to my show, you heard me talk about the beautiful new cedar fence I had installed at my home a couple years ago. Well, the company I trusted with that job is Badger Fence. They've been installing high-quality, durable fences in the metro Milwaukee area since 1945. They're a proud member of the Better Business Bureau with an A-plus rating. If privacy, security, and a wide choice of fence styles are top of mind when choosing a fence for your property, then Badger Fence is the right company. They're licensed, bonded, insured, and use the best materials in the industry. With more than 75 years of experience, Badger Fence knows that premium fence materials, design options, and affordability all play an important role in your overall satisfaction with your fencing project. So whether you want wood, which is what we chose, ornamental, chain link, or even PVC, they can help you choose the right materials for your fence project. And when it comes to quality, they are unmatched in the industry. We love our new wood fence, and when my wife Kathy and I were shopping around for fence companies, we found the right match with Badger Fence. To set up an appointment to talk with Badger Fence about your project, go to badgerfence.com. Tell them Scafidi from WTMJ sent you.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
The all-time winningest manager in Brewers franchise history is gone. I mean, and he's going straight to the rival.
Our Brewers Cubs coverage starts tonight at 6:05 on your home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 3:02. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: cocaine detected in a 1-year-old at an Oak Creek daycare.
I'm Julia Fellow. A missing Kenosha teen possibly being sex trafficked.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Starting off with an accident on the off-ramp from Highway 175 southbound to Wells. So watch out for that. That's the northern part of the stadium interchange. Other than that, we got eastbound 94 right about at 68th Street. Another accident there. That one's off on the right shoulder. Westbound's going to be slow from 25th Street through the stadium. Southbound 43 backed up from before Hampton down past Keefe, with the northbound side slow from about Kilbourne up to Keefe as well. And while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, clear and chilly, low of 43. Tomorrow, sunny. What a beautiful day. A high of 70 degrees. Right now, it's 59. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the family of 1-year-old Prince Staples responds after cocaine was found in their child's system while receiving daycare services from KinderCare in Oak Creek.
I hate driving past this place every day. I can't believe what happened to my son.
Prince's mother, Kimberly Hobson, and his family demanding for accountability from KinderCare and justice served to care worker Passion Watson. Attorney B. Ivory Lamar says,
"We are seeking neglect charges which have been forwarded to the district attorney's office, and we demand that these charges be pursued with the utmost rigor."
From KinderCare in Oak Creek, Julian Johnson, WTMJ News.
Kenosha police need your help finding a missing teen who might have been trafficked. Kaylee O'Connor, last seen Sunday, May 19th before 9:30 at night. She left the Love of Grace residential group home at 42nd Avenue and 53rd Street in Kenosha on foot. There are concerns that she is at high risk for sex trafficking. She's a 17-year-old white female, described being 5'3" tall, weighing about 185 pounds with red hair and blue eyes. She was last seen wearing a gray sweatshirt, black pants, and carrying a gray and black Steve Madden bag. You can find photos and more information at our website right now, WTMJ.com.
A mother is charged with attempting to traffic her 12-year-old daughter in Fond du Lac County.
Elia Antonio is accused of handing her daughter off to Juan Carlos Roja Mejia on the night of May 18th in the town of Oakfield. Roja Mejia then drove the victim to a field where he allegedly taped her hand to a seat and sexually assaulted her. The victim was able to fight her way out of the van, running to a nearby home for help. Investigators say at no point during the incident did Antonio call 911 and that both Antonio and Roja Mejia are in the country illegally. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Coming up, biking this weekend for a good cause.
Lots of questions still about the 1-year-old child's health after cocaine was found in his system in Oak Creek.
Print has all these abnormalities. There are short and long-term consequences to cocaine.
How many other children may have been exposed at this kinder care and who's being held responsible now? Our Julian Johnson joins us next with answers.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 3:05.
What do you call a sectional that embodies class, beauty, and sophistication?
That's easy, Arvid. We name it after me.
You think it should be called the Ben sectional.
Didn't he say class, beauty, and sophistication?
Yeah.
That's obviously me.
Right.
Actually, somewhere along the way, this sofa was nicknamed the Penny Sectional.
Because it represents everything Penny Mustard strives to be.
It truly is the most magnificent sofa I've ever seen.
The Penny Sectional transforms from a majestic piece of art into one of the most comfortable sofas for casual conversation or reclined relaxation.
Is there anything at Penny Mustard that we can name after me?
How about the men's room?
Nah, that's already named after someone else.
Who?
John.
The Penny Sectional, starting at just $174 a month, with only 1 penny down and no interest till May of 2027, through June 3rd at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Each day, there's a sliver of time when you can almost breathe freely. And you feel better when you can. But you know that eventually that sliver of time closes, along with your nose. It puts a damper on your day every day. So you pop a pill or you take a spray to try to get that relief back. But it's always short-lived. And all the while, in your efforts to give yourself relief, you may be making your nasal breathing problems worse. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and a simple in-office procedure from Advent called balloon sinuplasty could be the fast and convenient answer to your breathing triangle problems. Advent has been a leader in this procedure, which can be hard to find elsewhere. It's simple, there's little to no downtime, and it really can be life-changing.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 3:07.
The annual UPath Ride for the Arts, presented by Miller Lite, is coming up this weekend.
We always want to make sure that the UPath Ride for the Arts is a little fresh and new.
The ride will once again take cyclists over the Hone Bridge on a 20-mile loop that runs from Lake Park to Cudahy. UPath's Katie Korek on Wisconsin's Morning News.
The Hone Bridge is absolutely the biggest draw. It is the only recreational event that uses the Hone Bridge every year.
Families may prefer other course options, including a 1.5-mile roll around Lakeshore State Park. The ride is Sunday, June 2nd. Vince Vitrano, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers manager Pat Murphy confirms reliever Trevor McGill does not have a fractured elbow. McGill took a liner off his pitching elbow in the 10th inning of last night's loss to the Cubs. The two teams meet again tonight in Milwaukee. Coverage begins after the 6 o'clock news here on WTMJ. Block 2 of organized team activities is underway for the Packers, who are on the practice field today. And the Milwaukee Admirals take the ice tonight in California. Game 1 of the conference finals in the Calder Cup playoffs. Puck drops at 9 o'clock Central Time.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 3:08.
Another MVP has joined the roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Dr. Michael Nolte. Expertscape recently named him part of the top 1% of spine expertise in the world. Dr. Nolte has published over 50 peer-reviewed articles in leading scientific journals and authored more than 100 national presentations. They added this MVP specialist for orthopedic, neurosurgical, and spine care because at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
St. Vincent de Paul at 76th and Bradley Road is having our grand opening celebration this Father's Day weekend, June 13th through the 15th. Doors open at 9 a.m. and everything's on sale, 20% off. There'll be some great food trucks, cool giveaways, and it's a great chance for thrifters to see a whole new store's worth of inventory and bargains. 76th and Bradley in Milwaukee. Don't miss our grand opening sale, June 13th through the 15th.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
So glad you're back.
I'm glad I'm back too. Everybody's back. It's Wednesday. Hope your week is going pretty well today. We've got a full show for you. Let's get it started with the stuff that we're tracking today.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
This is such a fun and weird story. So we've been doing this story for the past couple of years about how pods of orcas, killer whales, have been ramming into and sometimes sinking expensive yachts and fishing boats and sailing festivals, mostly in the Mediterranean. Well, a group of experts got together, orca experts, and they've now put together a report outlining why they think this is happening, the ships being rammed.
Okay.
They believe that young orca whales are playing with the boat rudders. They're playing with the boats like children would play with boats in a bathtub. They say that the whales have a plentiful food supply because of the climate and because of restrictions on fishing. So the whales aren't needing to hunt as much because it's easy for them to eat and they're bored.
Listen, they can swarm and go as a group, like in Antarctica, when they all go and create a little wave, so then the penguins fall off the ice.
Yes.
It's huge, and they're doing that to boats that are capsizing.
They're capsizing. They say this has been going on for about 4 years, and basically it's just the juvenile orcas are playing. They see like the boat in the water, and they think they're playing with it, and the next thing you know, they're sinking the boat.
You see how powerful they are.
Yeah, they're big and strong and powerful. So mischievous orca whales, it's not a revenge attack. It's not they're mad at the boats. It's that they believe they are playing with the boats.
Jeez. Okay, number 2, more animals. A huge egg farm in Iowa is the latest to fall victim to the bird flu. I never realized how many chickens there are on a big farm. Guess how many? 1.4 million had to be slaughtered.
So on one farm?
In Sioux City, Iowa.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
That's a lot of chickens.
There's another one, 4.2 million chickens had to be slaughtered in Minneapolis.
What?
Yeah, on a Minneapolis farm.
Egg prices or chicken prices? That seems like a lot of birds.
A lot of analysts believe so, and the U.S. Department of Agriculture says more than 92 million chickens have been killed since the outbreak began in 2022. Really ramped up this year.
Ooh.
Bird flu has been detected in beef and milk. USDA says that those are still safe. Health and agricultural officials have said the risk to the public remains low.
Oh, that's
so
good
the
news.
nation's food supply and beef remains safe to eat. But our eggs are going to probably go up, according to analysts. Great.
That's not great news, but I do have some good news. The wall that heals is a 3/4 size replica of the Vietnam Wall, the famous wall in Washington, D.C. So this thing is really big. The wall that heals is coming to Heartland. It opens actually tomorrow. It's the only place in the state of Wisconsin the wall will be this year. It's sponsored by the actual Vietnam Wall in D.C. The same group that put that wall together sends this traveling model out. It has 58,000 names on it, just like on the real wall in Washington, D.C. Beginning tomorrow, it will be open 24 hours a day for viewing until it closes on Sunday. Opening ceremony tomorrow at 9. So if you're looking for something powerful to do with your family, check out the Wall That Heals. It's at Nixon Park, Nixon, Nixon Park, there in Heartland beginning tomorrow.
So worthwhile, so powerful. You'll see a lot of veterans that will go, and it's emotional. It's just as emotional.
Yeah, it is emotional. You're right. It's 3:13 at WTMJ. You heard us talk about this story in the news. It's a crazy story. Cocaine found in an Oak Creek child's toxicology screen connected to the daycare. The latest on that coming up on WTMJ.
The Political Power Hour with Steve Scafidi.
This is a story that deserves our attention.
Hearing from political experts from across Wisconsin and beyond.
Obviously, like you said, I lean to the left a little bit. This seems like another example of Democrats cleaning up after a mess left by Republicans.
Judges are confronted with multiple issues in cases. You don't have to decide all of them. You have to decide the critical one that the case really hinges on.
Weekdays from 9 to 10 on WTMJ.
John Mercure here for Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Bella and Baxter, we just got back from a few days out of town. They were so excited to see us. And guess what? They behaved well while we were gone. Sit Means Sit Dog Training has taught us to be better dog owners. Our dogs are better behaved. Great experience, even better results. It's Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Contact them for a free consultation. That's how we started. We met Matt, the owner. He's a great guy. Matt met the dogs, Bella and Baxter. Next thing you know, we were good to go. We're customers. It's Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Check them out today. The website, sitmeanssitwaukesha.com. You too can have a happy, confident, obedient dog. It's Sit Means Sit Dog Training.
Are you in need of expert exterior renovations? Look no further than Ridgetop Exteriors. For over 22 years, we've been the trusted name in roofing, siding, windows, doors, and gutter replacements.
I couldn't be happier with the new roof Ridgetop Exteriors installed. It's like having a brand new home.
The team at Ridgetop Exteriors made upgrading my siding a breeze. Quality work and friendly service.
With a track record of excellence, we take pride in transforming houses into dream homes. Visit us today at ridgetopexteriors.com for a free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, your trusted local affordable partners.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Traffic and weather sponsored by Flanders Home Entertainment, Flanders.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanders Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanders, just press play.
Traffic and weather. Debbie Lozga, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John. Well, things are hopping right now. We've got an issue in Washington County, and that's not playing. All right, well, it's basically on 45 northbound, just south of Paradise Drive. Looks like we've got a broken down vehicle that is causing some issues. We're seeing delays right through that area, so just be extra careful with that. Otherwise, northbound on 41, just about at Watertown Plank Road, we got the left shoulder blocked with the crash there. And then we've also got one on eastbound 94, right about at 68th Street. That one is off the right shoulder as well. So that's something to keep in mind as you're coming around that curve. I'm Debbie Lozgo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Pretty good stretch. Tonight, clear skies, cool, good sleeping weather, a low of 48 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny skies, a high of 70. Friday, sunny, a high of 75. Saturday, a chance for rain, a high of 74. On Sunday, partly cloudy, a high of 80 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, sunny skies and 60 degrees.
Just a terrible story out of Oak Creek. I can't even believe it.
It's an awful story.
A child care worker arrested after cocaine was found in the urine of a 1-year-old boy. The boy is not doing too great. Police arrested 24-year-old Passion Watson at the KinderCare in Oak Creek. An investigation is underway. That woman has now been charged with possession of cocaine, and the family wants even more charges and more investigation to happen, including with that daycare. Julian Johnson was there. And the parents spoke right in front of the KinderCare, right?
Yes,
with their
did.
lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the timeline of what they described happened?
So this actually goes back a little further than we originally thought. May 3rd, there was an abrasion on Prince's nose. That's the 1-year-old, then 11-month-old at the time. They got no answers after that. May 14th, the son threw up, and then the mother came to come get him. Had no answers. Okay. And the next day, May 15th, the son threw up again around the same time at that. So that's already weird in and of itself. There were scratches and marks on the kid. They found blood on the buttocks area as well. And so then they went to the children's hospital, called police. CPS ended up raiding their house because they thought it was something going on with them.
So they thought it was the parents because the child tested positive.
Well, because then the child ended up testing positive. That was actually the next day. The child ended up testing positive for cocaine. And then following up, we got to May 22nd, 24-year-old Passion Watson, one of the child care workers who was taking care of Prince, clearly, was arrested. And she is facing felony charges of child neglect, possession of a controlled substance on or near certain places, and a misdemeanor charge of cocaine. And then they also do not know how the child was exposed to said cocaine.
The question has to be investigated as to how did he get the cocaine in his system. I think it's important to note that he can't walk. He's not at the point of walking yet. So if he's confined to a high chair, how did the cocaine get ingested into his system to a point where it shows up in his urine? Those are the questions that we hope to be answered in the upcoming weeks. We understand and we respect the process of the ongoing investigations, but these are answers that this family needs.
I have to give it to the investigators for trying to put the pieces together and getting a canine to search that facility, and they were able to find that suspect's backpack. Mm-hmm. According to the court records, they found a baggie, and she said that she had been using it, and still no one knows exactly how the child was exposed, which we just aired.
That's
so
a great
crazy.
point, because this is not a 5-year-old child that could walk and pick up the backpack and play with the backpack. So So she's admitted that she used cocaine socially, I think is what she said, but it was adamant she never used it at the place. And then she said she doesn't know how it got in the backpack or didn't know it was in the backpack. Is that right?
This is a child, though. Yes. Yeah. But this is a child. You never know how a child, can get into what. They're children. They're curious. So even if
that
a very crazy
child
situation.
Can't walk yet, okay, either she had it on her and it got where the child was, or the child was left unsupervised and crawled around or got. I don't understand this. There's so many unanswered questions.
What are the long-term effects of this? And that's what the lawyer wants to find out. Take a listen to this.
Prince has all these abnormalities that is really causing a lot of different issues. We have been in contact with KinderCare and their counsel. I think this is the type of case that is so obvious that it's wrong. It's so obvious that it's trauma that resulted from this, that there are short and long-term consequences to cocaine, that hopefully that there's an appreciation of that and we are able to work together to try to work out a resolution outside of having to turn to our civil system. But in the event that we are unable to do so, a lawsuit is on the table.
So one thing that I would also like to note is that the attorney said that the facility had 23 violations prior to this. 23 is also a big number because Prince actually turned 23 on, I think it was May 23rd. So that's right after the lady got charged, or it was one of those days. I can't remember at the moment. But again, this all happened right before his first birthday here on Earth. All this stuff is happening, and this also brings up the grandmother who's worried about the other children and also just worried about in general about what's happening there.
This daycare should be closed down. The day they was raided and found the cocaine was a missed opportunity. The owner of this daycare should have demanded that every parent be contacted that day, and all their children should have been sent to some clinic that day to be tested for cocaine. And if the devil who put that cocaine in my grandson, if she has any grandchildren, they should have been tested the same day.
I hope the kids are tested.
There's no indicator that's happened. So think about if you have your child at that daycare, and this is a national daycare chain, a brand that's been respected in the United States. Mm-hmm. What if your kid isn't this kid that was impacted, and now you know that's happened there? All those children, they're right, should be tested. Every single child should be tested, and that place should be turned upside down to make sure there's no residue, nothing else nefarious.
Was that place open today?
From my understanding, it looked pretty open to me. They had a parking lot and everything was just there. It didn't seem as, that's why they said it should be closed down, because it's not. It's not closed down yet. It's like it's running regularly.
Yeah, and the grandmother said, in that soundbite, that all of the parents should be notified. Parents have been notified? A 1-year-old was exposed to cocaine?
That's
To the
why they
point
said
that
they
it
want
tests
accountability.
positive?
They want
Yeah.
accountability for them. That's one of the main things that they want, and because it clearly has not happened. They don't have surveillance cameras or anything, so they weren't even able to tell what actually happened. You can buy surveillance cameras on Amazon. That's what the attorney said. And the fact that you don't have it, maybe this could help moving forward.
How's that
to
not
have
required?
accountability.
How's that not a state law?
Right.
That you have cameras in child care facilities.
Exactly.
KinderCare released this statement. Nothing is more important to us than the safety of the children in our care. We work hard to create healthy spaces for work, play, and learning. All of our centers and programs are drug, alcohol, and tobacco free. And Watson, by the way, was arrested right there at the facility. That's not traumatic for the children or the other people that are there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the drug sniffing dogs.
It is 3:24. Julian, thank you so much.
No problem.
We've got some news about your money coming your way in a couple of minutes. First, a couple of words for Sidex. Sidex is the company that redid the bathroom in our downstairs guest room. Took out the old bathtub, put in a walk-in shower. It's absolutely beautiful. You know it's the best when you use Sidex. Came to the house, sat down, went over all the choices, came out the day of the install and the demolition. It was so easy. They came in, they got it done in an afternoon. It was clean. It was quick. It was on budget. It's Sidex. Sidex, S-I-D-E-X, Sidex. Check them out today.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
I'll say it again. Our mission is to protect and uphold our reputation. And what that means is wherever we go, we make it better for those in need of our services and the great people we have working with us. Our reputation matters. It matters to us, and it should matter to you. We believe that operating with integrity will set us apart from our competitors, and that this attracts people to us that share these same values. I say this because I want you to know when you work with Semper Fi, character counts. It's why you can count on the industry's hands-down best lifetime workmanship warranty that now includes free annual inspections. And it's why we always have one project manager per job, which is absolutely not the industry standard. When you're paying for a brand new roof to go on what's likely the biggest investment you have, you want it done right, and you want to be able to count on the people doing it. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
Keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own Accunet Mortgage, with a tip for today's home shoppers. You already know inventory is low and both competition and home prices are high. That's probably why you should not go with your bank or your real estate agent's mortgage pal for your pre-approval. You see, the banks have lots of branches, fancy headquarters, vice presidents and assistant vice presidents, and the loan officers who get referrals from real estate agents, they're typically very highly paid. Who do you think pays for all that extra expense? Turns out it's you. High overhead and high compensation naturally translate into higher closing costs. At Accunet, our extreme efficiency and low overhead mean your closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 lower than banks and other lenders for exactly the same rate. Don't light your hard-earned money on fire. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval today by clicking on the blue button and put the money you'll save in closing costs towards something for your new home. That's ACCUNET.com.
Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. 400-point slide leads Wall Street's down day. That's what the Dow did today. Actually, it was off 411 points. It's at 38,441. Boy, now it's 38, well below 39,000. The S&P right now off 39 points. It's at 5267. The NASDAQ was also off 99 points. That's 0.5%. It's at 16,921. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com.
Good news, bad news. The good news, inflation today is nothing like it's been in the past few years. The bad news, lower inflation doesn't mean lower prices. Inflation only records the size of price increases. When it goes down, prices are still higher than they were before. In fact, a recent study showed investors still consider inflation their single biggest threat to their investment and retirement plans. We don't blame you if you're concerned about how inflation might affect your legacy, your financial freedom, or your confidence. It's time to meet with the team team at Annex Wealth Management for investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. Annex is a fee-only fiduciary. We'll review what you own. We'll work together to build a plan that's right for you and your family. And we'll guide you on your way to achieving the kind of retirement you desire. Whatever's kickstarting your questions, market volatility, global unrest, an upcoming presidential election, or stubborn inflation, it's time to know the difference. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Right now, schedule your free in-home estimate, and for every 2 windows you buy, get the next 2 free. Plus a free upgrade to triple pane glass, and they'll double your energy tax credit. Restrictions apply. Just like me, you'll be saying,
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Traffic is sponsored by 2 men and a junk truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at 2menandajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: scratch marks and cocaine found on a baby at a child care center.
I'm Julia Fellow. Election fraud charges against a former Milwaukee County board candidate.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and on 43 northbound, right about at Keefe, we've got the right lane blocked with a broken down vehicle. That is slowing things down all the way back into the Marquette. Southbound side, we've got backups from Silver Spring all the way down past Keefe. Also an accident eastbound 94 at 68th Street off on the right shoulder. We've got another one on northbound 41 right about at the ramp from Watertown Plank Road. This one is off on the left shoulder. And one more accident on 894 southbound. Left lane is blocked with a crash at Beloit Road. Delays stretching back to National Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight will be clear and chilly. The low will be 48 at the lake and 43 inland. Tomorrow, sunny and beautiful, 65 at the lake, warmer inland, 70 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center.
What started as an abrasion to a nose, escalated to a black eye, and ended with cocaine in an 11-month-old baby.
Attorney Ivory Lamar speaking on behalf of the family whose baby was found with cocaine in their system. Police arrested 24-year-old Passion Watson, a child care worker at the kinder care in Oak Creek last week after the discovery. The child's parents say it started with noticing several scratches and marks on their infant. This led to police searching the child care facility and finding a plastic bag filled with a white powder, later identified as cocaine, in Watson's backpack. Watson was released on a $1,500 signature bond and is due back in court on June 18th. The kinder care in Oak Creek remains open.
3 Illinois men are in the Walworth County Jail after an attempted burglary. It happened this afternoon at Aldridge Eclectic in the town of Gedarian. The Aldridge employee found a box truck with the men on the property, which then they fled away from police. The suspects led police on a high-speed chase on I-43 into Rock County with 2 rounds of stop sticks being deployed to stop the vehicle. The investigation is ongoing to determine if these suspects can be tied to other burglaries in both Wisconsin and Illinois.
A former Milwaukee County board candidate now charged with felony election fraud. Andrew Matias of Oak Creek is accused of falsely certifying at least 3 nomination papers for his own candidacy as Milwaukee County Board Supervisor for the 17th District. Candidates are supposed to personally circulate nomination papers and get all the required signatures to be on the ballot. Matias is accused of signing off on papers that he did not personally obtain for the April 2nd election and was eventually kicked off the ballot. Matias is scheduled to appear in court June 10th. He faces up to 3.5 years in prison if convicted.
Jury deliberations continue for the hush money trial against former President Donald Trump. About a half hour ago, the group making their first request to the judge. After 3 hours of deliberations, they wanted 4 readbacks of testimony, including that from Michael Cohen and David Pecker, the former publisher of the National Enquirer.
Conservative Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito says he can't and won't recuse himself from January 6th related cases. This comes after reports about the flags that have been seen flying outside his homes. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
In letters to congressional Democrats, Justice Samuel Alito insists he didn't even know the American flag was flying upside down outside his Northern Virginia home until it was called to his attention. Alito says he asked his wife to take it down, but, quote, for several days she refused. Alito also says his wife was solely responsible for flying the Appeal to Heaven flag over the couple's beach house on the Jersey Shore. He says the old historic flag was never intended to associate the Alitos with the Stop the Steal movement.
Where is Wisconsin when it comes to artificial intelligence?
With multiple new AI programs and a $3.3 billion AI facility coming to Wisconsin, Microsoft Senior Director of Public Policy Ryan Harkins tells WTMJ their hope is for AI to
help make businesses and government and individuals more efficient. It will take tasks and things that we find mundane or that take a lot of time today and free us up to engage in more productive work.
From We Energy's Julian Johnson, WTMJ News.
Microsoft's other Wisconsin partnership include Gateway College to certify thousands of students under 5 years, and with UW-Milwaukee to establish a co-innovation lab.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers manager Pat Murphy confirms reliever Trevor McGill does not have a fractured elbow. McGill took a line drive off his pitching elbow in the 10th inning of last night's loss to the Cubs. The two teams meet again tonight. Coverage begins after the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. Block 2 of organized team activities is underway for the Packers, who are on the practice field in Green Bay today. And the Milwaukee Admirals take the ice tonight in California in Game 1 of the conference finals in the Calder Cup playoffs. Puck drops at 9 o'clock Central Time.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:35.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. We've made it to that wonderful time in Wisconsin when everyone likes to be outside. The gardening, the golfing, the swimming. But not you, because your knee hurts or your hips are bothering you and you don't want to do anything that could mean needing surgery. Hey, I get it. But here's the thing. You don't need surgery to feel better. That's where QC Kinetics comes in. Non-surgical joint pain relief is a thing. It's here. It's happening at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, lasting joint relief with no surgery, no drugs, and get this, no downtime. Stop putting it off. Take action now and live your best life again. Get outside this summer. Call QC Kinetics. Here's the number, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today and live your best life again.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
So breaking news out of New York, the first day of jury deliberations, and they have ended for the day. The judge has sent the jury home for the day. They will begin back up tomorrow morning in New York in the Donald Trump case. And Donald Trump may make some comments and remarks as he heads out of court, which could happen in a couple of minutes here.
Yeah, we plan to talk more about that coming up at about 3:46. But right now, I want to talk about what is happening with Milwaukee Public Schools' Head Start program. Federal officials found lack of supervision, verbal and physical abuse, so they yanked all of their federal funding for the rest of this month. We talked about this when the announcement was made last Tuesday. The Administration for Children and Families decided to do this. To refresh you, I'll take you to one licensing visit of 3K and 4K students. We're talking about 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds. A federal observer saw a child being pulled by their arms from the hallway into the classroom. They also got multiple complaints about a worker shoving a child, causing the student to hit their head, holding the children's heads, pulling children roughly into a seated position. None of this is good. These are very young children. They could get hurt. Also, during the licensing visit, staff were seen screaming at the children. They also found workers weren't properly background checked, which you didn't like.
It's not good.
The Administration of Children and Families say there's been evidence of maltreatment since 2022, and it has not been corrected. So that's why this is happening. That's why the funding has been yanked. MPS says they will pay for it for the next 30 days. So I was just at a meeting, and Congresswoman Gwen Moore was there. I asked her, do you think MPS should still get federal funding? And this is what she said and what she's heard.
With regard to what's going to happen to MPS, it is very likely, from what I see, I know numbers of vendors like Nextdoor Foundation, other 501c3 organizations are standing in the wait as we wait to hear what's going to happen to the Head Start slots to pick up the pieces from MPS. And so I would suspect that the MPS Head Start program is going to be broken up and spread out. I know several of the vendors have contacted our office trying to find out what's going to happen, and I don't know the answer to that. But it is totally unconscionable that there would be no providers for Head Start in the city of Milwaukee.
So bottom line, it's a lot of money that could be funded into this program. $10.5 million is what MPS was expecting to get the next school year to fund all 37 locations. And MPS doesn't want to lose that.
Right.
District officials say they're working to correct the issues that were identified by federal officials. MPS says they're going to use their own funds once again to sustain the program. But we have more information from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. There were 2 3-year-olds dropped off by a bus by Barack Obama Career and Technical Education November of last year, with no one there to guide them in. One was found later a block away from school. The other just hung out at a playground. Another one was dropped off at the wrong school. Thank goodness someone was able to see the child and help the child and figure out what was going on. Another was at Marvin Pratt School. Security cameras showed 2 3-year-olds were unsupervised for at least 10 minutes on the school playground. Not good. They need to be supervised. Congresswoman Moore believes this has to do with lack of training and not having a student-to-teacher ratio that is good enough.
A student-teacher ratio that has to be observed. You know, when you're grabbing kids and yelling at them, you know, a lot of times, you know, that could be because you're like old Mother Hubbard trying to, you know, take care of too many children.
I'm not sure what that means, really.
I don't know. Maybe I think she was trying to say that they're a little overwhelmed.
Yeah, overwhelmed, but it almost sounded like she was, in a way, defending the people that made the bad actions by saying the system isn't good enough to give them what they need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How were her comments received? You were on a panel. This was at the Milwaukee Press Club, and they do these newsmaker luncheons, and you and a couple other journalists got the chance to question the Congresswoman about a variety of topics. How was she received? How did the luncheon go?
She had a lot of fun quips. She was talking about, you know, different stories with Paul Ryan, how he helped her with her luggage getting off the airplane and stuff. So there was lots of laughs. I wish I would have been able to ask more questions about this in particular. But I also reached out to MPS. They have not gotten back to me on what's going to happen. She mentioned getting experienced people to supervise our youngest students by paying them more. So you have to stay tuned on what happens next. But what she was saying, people were nodding along. I wish I was able to ask more about this one.
Yeah. Very interesting stuff. We'll stay on top of this, that is for sure. It's 3:42 at WTMJ. The jury has been sent home for the day. Court has adjourned in the Donald Trump trial in New York. ABC's Royal Oakes on what we know. The jury sent some interesting notes asking to rehear some testimony. What could that indicate as far as where their mind is? Royal Oakes with us after Debbie helps get you home on WTMJ.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news. Our Retirement Ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
WTMJ's John Mercure here for Connect Chiropractic. You know what? I was out of town for a few days, and I was on the airplane. Yesterday was a 12-hour day just getting home, and I cannot wait for my appointment tomorrow at Connect Chiropractic because I feel better after I go in there. They have a long-term care focus on total wellness, And I feel that when I'm with Dr. Alex, Dr. Marley, Dr. Olivia. So we're in the yard more now. You're chasing your kids around. We're walking the dogs around the block. You need to make sure you feel your best. Connect Chiropractic is going to do that for you. Whether it's lower back pain, I've got some of that, neck pain, shoulder pain, whether it's with your gait and how you walk, Connect Chiropractic can help you with all of that. It's not twisting, cracking, popping. It's much more nuanced. It's gentle and it's effective. It's Connect Chiropractic.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. We don't always realize just how much our negative thoughts and experiences stick with us and weigh us down. You may find your brain constantly running through a highlight reel of bad moments. That comment your friend made last week that hurt your feelings, that frustrating thing your mom does, or that silly thing you said in a meeting. Maybe it's time to get it all off your chest. Whether it's a tiny annoyance or something much bigger, talking about it can give you some relief and lead you to a potential solution. That's where therapy comes in. It's a safe space to share whatever's weighing you down and learn to process it so your internal highlight reel can focus on the good stuff. And BetterHelp offers affordable online therapy on a schedule that works for you. Connect with a licensed therapist by text, phone, or video call. Start the process in minutes and switch therapists anytime. Let it out with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/ABC Radio today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/ABC Radio.
No one wanted to hire me. They just saw my disability, but not me. I worked hard to get the education and the skills needed to thrive. I was ready to work. Then someone believed in me and said yes.
And once you say yes, Thinkability Wisconsin will be there, providing transition and workforce support for people with disabilities and their employers to help shape a better future for all. It all starts when you say yes. Join the movement at thinkabilitywi.org.
Traffic and weather. Let's get a look at the roads with Debbie Lazaga.
All right, we got accidents and things popping up everywhere. We've got, first of all, northbound 43 at Atkinson, broken down vehicle blocking the right lane. We've also got an accident eastbound 94 at 68th Street off on the right shoulder. Another one on northbound 41 right at the ramp from Watertown Plank Road. It's off on the left shoulder with this crash. And then one on 894 southbound south of Beloit Road. Left lane is blocked there. Backups stretching all the way back past Greenfield Avenue. So give yourself tons of extra time to get around that. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight we have clear skies. It'll be cool. The low will be 48 degrees. Thursday, sunny. You can see the sun. 65 at the lake, 70 inland. Friday, mostly sunny. 73 at the lake, 75 inland. Saturday, partly cloudy. There's a rain chance. It'll be 72 degrees. And then Sunday, partly cloudy. 75 at the lake, 80 inland. 80.
It's our good at Jazz Club. Hey!
I don't know.
It's like a hand-muddled old-fashioned please. Hey, lady! Let's get to New York. The jury has been sent home for the day. So it is almost 5 o'clock out there. The jury's been sent home for the day in the Donald Trump case. But the historic deliberations will continue tomorrow. ABC legal analyst Royal Oakes is with us, the man with the best name in radio. Royal, good afternoon. Thank you so much for being with us.
Hey, my pleasure. Busy day of deliberations for this jury. They hit the ground running. Within an hour or so after they started, they had a question. They want a read back of Michael Cohen's testimony, of David Pecker's testimony, the National Enquirer guy who orchestrated the catch and kill deal. And then just before the end of the day, they asked the judge to reread the jury instructions. Now, the judge doesn't know if they want to hear the entire hour-long version, the full deal, or just one or two. But he said, look, it's about quitting time, so we'll come back in the morning and you tell me exactly what you want to have reread. And so bottom line is, first day of deliberations in the books, no quick verdict for or against Donald Trump.
Seems like they might be confused, Royal. They're trying to follow the law to the T.
Well, it's a very confusing case. Part of the confusion is you remember this weird case involves a two-step dance. The first step is you have to find Donald Trump guilty of a misdemeanor of falsifying New York corporate records. He wrote down that it was legal expenses that he was paying Cohen for, when really it was Stormy Daniels' payoff money. But step two is it's a felony if you do that with intent to commit a second crime. Now, what second crime is that? The jury didn't hear until the jury instructions after the closings what the three possible additional crimes were involving campaign violations, tax violations. So, yeah, they're confused about that. Plus, 55 pages of dense, hard-to-understand jury instructions were read aloud to them. The judge does not permit a copy of those instructions to go into the jury room, even though he gave them a laptop with all of the exhibits. And so, yeah, they're confused probably about the instructions and just want to hear it a second time. Frankly, I mean, I've tried cases for decades. Judges almost always let the jury have a copy of the instructions in the jury room, but this judge has a different approach.
Absolutely.
Why would he do that?
There's no reason why he would do that. It's not like they can do anything wrong just by rereading and poring over the instructions while seeing a hard copy. He did say to them, if you want to hear the instructions read again, just let me know and come back in the courtroom and I'll read them to you. That's not how some people learn.
Right.
That's not how I learn. I learn by highlighting and copying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's a very weird approach that he's got.
I would say I want the transcripts of the judge giving the instructions because I would want it in black and white.
Are they allowed the transcript or anything like that?
No, the transcript would be identical to the actual instructions. The instructions are written in stone. Both sides argue to the judge, we want this instruction, we want that. He makes a ruling, and he decides these 55 pages will be the rulings. He then reads it verbatim. He doesn't, start vamping and going impromptu and say, now, but what I mean by that instruction is this. So the transcript wouldn't help. The actual instructions, which are online, we can all go to CNN.com or wherever and see the instructions, but the jury can't. They're kind of in the dark.
And for some people, it's how they learn, or you might want to discuss the instructions with your other jurors, like this is what we're supposed to be considering,
Absolutely.
or this is what we're not allowed to do. And if you don't have a copy of that, Royal, it's almost like they might be in there every day asking him to reread portion of the instructions.
Exactly right. And it's even worse than that. In virtually every case I've tried, the judge issues instructions before the closing arguments so that the lawyers can say to the jury, now, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to get some instructions from the judge about the law. It's very important. You got to follow them. But they're kind of complicated, so let's put them up on the screen. And here's my argument about why, if you follow this instruction based on the facts of this case, you should find the guy guilty or not guilty. The lawyers couldn't do that here because the jury had not been provided the instructions before the closing. So, again, it's an unorthodox approach. But they do things differently in New York. For example, you've probably been in a situation where you're on a jury and you vote to pick the foreman. In New York, the very first juror picked at the start of the trial is deemed the foreman, and that's it. Now, this particular person who's the foreman, according to court watchers in the court, has not taken a single note the entire 6-week trial. So the leader of the pack is somebody who either has some sort of a brainiac eidetic memory or he's just a little too lazy to take notes.
So now the foreman, we all know from watching Law and Order what the foreman generally does, but can it be just title? Someone else could definitely take the lead or be more vocal or force votes in decision-making, right?
Exactly. Now, there are three things that a foreman does. Number one, he chairs the discussions. Number two, he signs the note coming from some or all of the jurors. And number three, he announces it in court, the dramatic, we the jury in the above entitled case find Orenthal, James Simpson not guilty, although they had the clerk do it in that case. But your point is very good. You could have a very passive foreman who technically is the leader of the pack and leading the discussion, but you could have some very forceful, aggressive other jurors saying, okay, I hear your point, but let's talk about this, that, and the other, and they could really drive the bus.
That's how it was in the federal case. I was on a federal jury. We were shouting at each other. It was crazy. Yeah. It was crazy.
Sometimes it's hard to get a unanimous verdict because in a criminal case, it has to be unanimous, and that's the deal here in the Trump case, whereas in most systems, for example, in California, 9 out of 12 is all you need to decide a civil case.
Royal Oakes is with us. So, Royal, the jury today requested parts of the testimony be read again for David Pecker and Michael Cohen, two of the major witnesses for the prosecution. In the little bit we know and you've had the chance to digest, can you read anything into what the jury asked for?
Probably bad news for Trump that they're interested in David Pecker, the National Enquirer guy who had the catch and kill deal, because Trump's position is that's irrelevant. It's legal to pay hush money. It's legal to do a catch and kill deal. And so don't be concerned with the fact that a famous guy like Trump had a bunch of people saying bad things about him and he paid a bunch of them off. That's not what this case is about. It's about falsifying documents. So the fact that they want to hear it again means at least one of the jurors, it could be all 12, could be one, that means they attribute significance to it, which ain't good news for Donald Trump.
Royal, can you say one more time, you said something about 9 out of 12 jurors have to do what in order for him to be convicted?
Yeah, in a civil case in California and many jurisdictions, breach of contract, not criminal, all you need to win is 9 out of 12, either for the plaintiff seeking damages or the defendant resisting it. Whereas in criminal cases, you have to have a unanimous vote now in all states. It used to be Louisiana and Oregon toyed with the idea of a non-unanimous criminal verdict, but that's been tossed out. I think it's unanimous now. Every state requires unanimous votes to convict somebody of a crime.
Okay, this one's unanimous, has to be unanimous.
We all believe that Donald Trump probably wanted to testify because of what we know about his personality and how he believes in himself and all that sort of thing, but he did not. Do you believe it was an easy decision for the Trump legal team to recommend he not testify, or do you think this was a close call?
Oh, super easy. It would have been a huge mistake because the prosecution would have used it as a highlights reel of all of the strong points of their case. And based on his past experience in the defamation case involving E. Jean Carroll and the New York civil fraud case, he lost hundreds of millions of dollars in cases where he testified.
So look into your crystal ball. How long do you think this goes?
Well, some people are speculating that since they hit the ground running today and Friday verdicts are common because jurors want to, get out of Dodge and get back to their regular lives, Friday afternoon would be a good guess. On the other hand, two of the jurors during jury selection said favorable things about Trump. So it could be tough to get them to vote against Trump, and that means we could have a hung jury, which means they could be there a week or longer before they give up.
ABC's Royal Oakes. Thank you, Royal.
You bet.
So the O.J. Simpson jury deliberated less than 4 hours.
Wow.
Before they came back not guilty. The Michael Jackson jury, 32 hours. They deliberated over 7 days. The Harvey Weinstein jury was 9 days. And Scott Peterson, who's in the news again now, a total of 30 hours. So it's kind of all over the place. I mean, nobody expected it would happen today. Will it happen by the end of the week? I guess we'll wait and see.
You wouldn't believe how many people wanted to go home in my juror group. They didn't even care at the end of the day. After one day of deliberation,
I want to be done.
So many folded.
Yeah, interesting. 3:56 at WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
The Novo Nordisk Bioscience plant plans a $75 million expansion. The proposal calls for a 2-story, 52,000 square foot expansion of the West Allis plant for new production equipment. If approved, construction would begin in July, with substantial completion in June 2026. Old Guard Games opens in the space formerly occupied by Panther Bookstore on Downer Avenue. Additional plans for the property include a future barbershop and coffee shop, both slated to open in late summer. River West Brew Pub Company Brewing announces its closure after 9 years of operation. The brewery had previously explored the possibility of new ownership or investment options back in January. I'm Logan Hansen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Business headlines sponsored by the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
Milwaukee's finest hotel, the Pfister Hotel, is continuing with renovations to enhance its already stellar reputation. Phase 2 of the renovations is in progress to transform the hotel's historic rooms, with many new rooms available now for reservations. Phase 3 will focus on the hotel's public spaces, set to be completed this summer. The renovations will blend exceptional comfort with cutting-edge technology, reinforcing the hotel's approachable sophistication. The Pfister is ready to welcome you for your next visit. Start planning your stay today at thepfisterhotel.com.
John Mercure here for Otto's Wine and Spirits. I've got a case of wine I need to pick up. I think it's a Chianti from Italy, actually, at Otto's. I got to get in there and get it. What I love is they have the best wine experts at all of their stores. Whether you're looking for a special bottle, whether you're looking for a case because you're entertaining, check out Otto's Wine and Spirits and the beer collection. They've got all the Lineys. They've got all the imports. They've got your Miller Lite. They've got it all at Otto's. It's where I stock up. Otto's Wine and Spirits, employee-owned, friendly staff. The 7 locations are in Milwaukee, Elm Grove, Brown Deer, Cedarburg, and Menominee Falls. That's where my store is, Menominee Falls. They have been doing this for a very long time, since 1945. Open 7 days a week. Best prices, best selection. Otto's Wine and Spirits.
St. Vincent de Paul, Milwaukee has expanded into our new 76th and Bradley Road location, where thrifters will find hundreds of bargains on everything, from clothing to furniture, electronics, home goods, and more. Our inventory is always changing, and new deals pop up every day. We're accepting donations, too, at our convenient drive-through donation area. Help us help others. St. Vincent de Paul at 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee is now open.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scafidi for the Bath Authority. If your bath or shower is old, outdated, has mold and mildew, or broken tiles, you gotta call my friends at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products, along with a world-class, best-in-class customer experience. All Bath Authority products 100% made in the U.S. and can be installed in as little as 1 day by certified factory technicians. You're their priority at the Bath Authority, thebathauthority.com. A better bath awaits.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Not wearing your seatbelt could cost you a ticket or your life. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper-Fi.
SemperFiRoofing.com.
Sponsored by Flanders Home Entertainment, Flanders.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanders Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanders, just press play.
The all-time winningest manager in Brewers franchise history is gone. I mean, and he's going straight to the rival.
Our Brewers Cubs coverage starts tonight at 6:05 on your home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 4:01. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: a child care center remains open after a cocaine discovery.
I'm Julia Fellow. A mother in Fond du Lac charged with sex trafficking.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, starting off with 94 southbound, right about Highway 158 in Kenosha County. The 2 left lanes are blocked with a crash there, so watch out for that. Then we've got an issue on 894 southbound, left lane blocked there, south of Beloit Road. Backup stretching all the way back to the Zoo interchange. Also an issue on northbound 43, broken down vehicle blocking the right lane. Looks like it's a big old open top truck that is blocking that right lane. It is solid all the way through the Marquette. And we've also got eastbound 94 at 68th Street. They're still working on that accident off on the right shoulder. And one more on 41 northbound, right about at Watertown Plank Road, off on the left shoulder there. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Tonight, clear and chilly, a low of 43 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny, a high of 70. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the mother of a baby found with cocaine in his system speaks out. Kimberly Hobson says her now 1-year-old son, Prince, is not the same baby as before he started attending the kinder care in Oak Creek.
Every day he's coming here, I'm thinking he's safe, and it's just a million times worse. I can't imagine how scared he was. And the pain he went through.
The family says it started with noticing several scratches and marks on their infant. Then cocaine was discovered in the baby's urine. This led to police searching the Oak Creek child care facility and finding a plastic bag filled with a white powder later identified as cocaine in an employee's backpack. Police arrested 24-year-old Passion Watson, a child care worker there. Watson was released on a $1,500 signature bond. The kinder care in Oak Creek remains open.
Kenosha police need your help finding a missing teen who might have been sex trafficked. Kaylee O'Connor was last seen Sunday before 9:30 p.m. She left the Love of Grace residential group home near 42nd Avenue and 53rd Street in Kenosha on foot. There are concerns that she's at high risk for trafficking. She's 17-year-old white female, described as being 5'3" tall, weighing about 185 pounds, with red hair and blue eyes. She was last seen wearing a gray sweatshirt and black pants, carrying a gray and black Steve Madden bag. You can find photos of her and more information on our website, WTMJ.com.
A mother's charged with attempting to traffic her 12-year-old daughter in Fond du Lac County.
Elia Antonio is accused of handing her daughter off to Juan Carlos Roja Mejia on the night of May 18th in the town of Oakfield. Roja Mejia then drove the victim to a field where he allegedly taped her hand to a seat and sexually assaulted her. The victim was able to fight her way out of the van, running to a nearby home for help. Investigators say at no point during the incident did Antonio call 911 and that both Antonio and Roja Mejia are in the country illegally. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Artificial intelligence is rooted in our daily life more than you might think.
We Energy is hosting a State of AI event Wednesday to speak on what's next for AI. Microsoft Senior Director of Public Policy Ryan Harkins tells WTMJ AI is used in many places.
A search engine provide you with more relevant search results. The navigation or maps feature on your phone, autocorrect, spell check, those programs are utilizing what you might call AI.
Harkins says these models lead to stronger models such as OpenAI and ChatGPT. Julian Johnson, WTMJ News.
Coming up, dermatology advice for the summer.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 4:04. This report sponsored by the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage. I get that most home shoppers just go with their bank when it comes to getting pre-approved, but that's probably a mistake because banks have a lot of overhead, like branches, fancy headquarters, and layers of management. That means their closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 higher than AccuNet's for exactly the same rate. And that's not all. Bank pre-approval letters are usually weak and unconvincing, especially compared to AccuNet's rock-solid, fully verified pre-approval that provides a $2,000 guarantee to you and the seller. Our senior loan consultants will also look at every possible way to strengthen your offer and pre-approval in the eyes of that seller, especially if you're offering over the asking price. We even call the listing agent to reinforce what a great buyer you are. Banks don't do all that. Click on the blue button today at AccuNet.com and let our passionate mortgage pros help you win while you save a bunch of money, too. That's ACCUNET.com.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 4:07.
With the temperatures ramping up and the sun's intensity growing, don't forget to break out the sunscreen for that round of golf or possible poolside hangout.
30 SPF at a minimum, but it's not the only thing to consider.
It's important to wait for the sunscreen to soak in before getting wet, before you jump in that pool, and also reapplying a couple hours after you get wet or you get sweaty.
Milwaukee County's Chief Health Policy Advisor, Dr. Ben Weston, sprays versus lotion? Well, that's a personal preference. Here's another tip.
You'll want to use the sunscreen that you're going to actually apply. If it's really expensive for that baby sunscreen, and so you're not going to use quite as much of it on your kid, maybe just get something cheaper. But you want to be able to use sunscreen that has good protection, and you're actually going to use it and apply it well.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. It's Brewers-Cubs tonight. Coverage at 6 o'clock here on WTMJ. And the Admirals take the ice tonight in California, game one of their conference finals in the Calder Cup playoffs. Puck drops at 9 o'clock Central Time.
Citing and limited WTMJ News Time, 4:08.
It's Heiser's amazing sales event. With Mother's Day, Memorial Day, graduations, and more, there's a lot to celebrate this month. Whether you're giving a gift or treating yourself to a vehicle upgrade, our amazing team will help you choose the best option. And to make things even better, you'll receive our exclusive Safe and Sound program, which includes a multitude of benefits. See all offers and details at Heiser.com and let us amaze you today. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
Hey, let's get right to it. Our special guests in the studio are Tori Lowe and Liz Brown. You hear them 1 to 4 on 101.7 The Truth. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Hey.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having me.
So we've been talking all afternoon about this case involving the KinderCare in Oak Creek and the young boy who had cocaine in his system. A woman who works there has been arrested. You guys talked to Kimberly Hobson as the mom, right?
Yep. We talked to her
attorney.
And the father.
And the dad.
And the dad.
James, Kimberly, and attorney B. Ivy Lamar, who's taking on the case.
So they're obviously devastated. I can't imagine. This is the worst thing that can happen to a parent, just about. How are they doing? How are they holding up? What would they like to see done?
Well, I'll say this, you can't measure a parent's love for their child, especially when the child was harmed. They went through a horrible situation, a professional daycare, a national brand. KinderCare is all over the place, multiple facilities across the country. And when you're handing your child over to a professional care expert, quote unquote, that you can move on and kind of get your work done and then come back and pick the child up. Well, the child had been abused, had marks. Then take the child to the hospital and then find out that it was cocaine in the child's system, and the family got raided by the police.
Yeah,
the
add
police
insult to injury.
Came after the family, and then on top of that, then they went back and a couple days later and found that it was in the daycare. And that goes to show that the daycare didn't care, because even with the family asking questions, they still didn't do a search to see what was going on, and cocaine was found in the daycare.
This is a terrible, terrible situation. Julie and I keep looking at each other, Liz, and wondering, how's this daycare still open? How are kids still going there?
That's the question that we want to know, because, again, this is a daycare, well-known, 23 violations on record. 2 highlights the non-supervisory that was taking place, the negligence of this daycare of not supervising. Again, when you dropping off children, this baby Prince, this was drugged and beaten at 11 months. Right now, he's 1 year old, unable to talk, unable to walk. Again, it's egregious. The question is, the ball has been dropped, or as one of the callers also stated, that wasn't even picked up. These people wasn't in the game. We're talking about 23 violations. This is prior to the drugging and the abuse of baby Prince.
Oh, horrible.
And today, it's open for business. Business as usual. No flags for the parents who at this daycare as well. They never sent out anything. They tried to sweep it under the rug.
Tori, what do you plan to do tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow at 5 p.m., we're going to have a rally outside KinderCare. And this is at 7677 South Howell Avenue in Oak Creek. We're going to have a protest because we got to let the community know what's going on over there. There was a press conference today. Many stations are picking it up. TMZ, The Shade Room has picked this up. for them to still be operating is disgusting to me. And this is a child that was abused and drugged. And they have not been shut down, and we want to bring community awareness to the situation. So tomorrow at 5 p.m., we're going to be at 7677 South Howell in Oak Creek to let the community understand that we got to shut this place down.
What do you plan to do? Is it like, are you going to do a speech?
A protest. There will be a protest. The family will be there. Like I said, I don't know if the other parents even know that this even took place.
Yeah, unless they see their daycare on the news, they probably don't. How could they not notify
They don't.
the other families?
They didn't, because the family stated that they have an app that's supposed to let you know, again, if something happened at the daycare.
Yep.
They were never told or anything even came across the app. So don't nobody know. Business is going on as usual. And again,
horrible.
The community just now finding out due to the Tori Lowe show.
Tori Lowe and Liz Brown, thanks for fighting for our community. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Tori.
Thank you for having us.
It is 4:13 at WTMJ.
Hey, Craig's back. Let's make sure to give him a warm welcome.
1-2 to Adames. Is a fly ball out to right. Racing back is Abreu. It's over his head, and what hops the wall? It's a 2-run double.
Hit high and deep to left field, way back up to the monster, and gone! 2-run home run, William Contreras. That was a screamer.
Brewers Cubs. Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:05 on your home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
John Mercure here for Annex Wealth Management. When it comes to your investment and retirement plan, a simple checklist might help. Is your financial advisor a fiduciary? How are they at tax planning? What about estate planning? Can they help make sure your legacy plan follows your wishes, or are they just trying to sell you something? There's a real difference between financial advisors. That's why Annex Wealth Management urges you to know the difference. I know you've noticed inflation isn't going away. Head to annexwealth.com/inflation and download 7 strategies you can use in an environment with elevated inflation. Lots of great info in there. Annex is local, independent. They're part of the community, and that matters. Their investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning teams are based right here in Southeast Wisconsin. Visit annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button. Schedule your own appointment today. Michelle and I did that years ago. It's Annex Wealth Management, located throughout Southeast Wisconsin. Know the difference. It's Annex. Fee-only fiduciary. It's Annex.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Traffic is sponsored by 2 Men and a Junk Truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at 2menandajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Lazaga. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John. I really don't know what's going on, but we've got a lot of stuff happening. 4194 southbound, right about at Highway 158 in Kenosha County. 2 left lanes are blocked. It's a pickup truck that's apparently looks like it may have hit the wall and ended up in those 2 left lanes. So careful with that. Northbound on 43 at Atkinson or Keefe, same difference. We've got the right lane blocked with what looks to be a huge dumpster that is stuck in that right lane. That is affecting your ride. We are seeing delays all the way back through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge, pretty much to the base of the high-rise bridge. So it's going to be a long, slow slog. I would avoid 43 northbound at this point. Northbound 41, an accident off on the left shoulder at Watertown Plank Road, so careful with that. Eastbound 94, they're still dealing with that accident at 68th Street off on the right shoulder, but then on the left shoulder, looks like we got a broken down semi that's going to make everybody go, wow, what the hey? So just be extra careful. By the way, southbound on the Rock Freeway, almost as you get to Highway 83 in Mukwonago, we got some big delays through there. I don't have any indication of an accident per se, but I know there's some construction going on through there. So if you happen to be driving through there carefully, please give us a call on the Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329 and let us know what's going on down there. You can be our eyes down there. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, clear skies, a low of 48. Tomorrow, sunny 70. Friday, sunny 75. Saturday, a chance for rain, a high of 74. And on Sunday, partly cloudy, a high of 80. So last night, I am laying in bed. It's like midnight. Just got back from California. And I feel like a little itch underneath the back of my leg, like kind of on my back of my thigh, right kind of near my rear end, but not quite there. Okay.
A warm spot.
An itchy spot. So it ends up that I reach my hand up and there is a big tick. And it's big. It's like the size of a pencil eraser. If you want to see how big it is, check out my Twitter. This is how you can see the tick. You will not believe how big this thing is. My doctor said it's the biggest tick he's seen. Text the word tick, T-I-C-K, to our line at 855-616-1620. Text the word tick, and you can see the tick that I'm about to tell the story about.
John brought it in a Ziploc bag,
It's still
and
right
it's
here.
still alive.
It's here.
And moving around. And then he took it out of the Ziploc bag and
take that
put it
picture.
down in the meeting, and I screamed.
You did, and I, by the way, went back and scrubbed that table.
It's huge.
Look how big that is.
What if it laid eggs?
If you want to see it, text the word tick, T-I-C-K. Okay, so I can't go to sleep last night. This huge tick, it was half embedded in me, and I just grabbed it accidentally. I didn't know it was a tick, and before I know it, it's in my hand, so now I can't go to sleep. I'm freaked out. I got like a little rash around where the tick was. I finally wake up in the morning, like early, after getting like 10 minutes of sleep, and I call my doctor, and I say, hey, this is John Mercure. Dr. McCann is my doctor. I have an emergency, but not an emergency room emergency. I need to come in and see Dr. McCann. I got bit by a tick. Half of it I think is still in my body. I'm really freaked out. It's really big. I have the tick. Can I come in? And the lady's like, take a breath. Come in at 9 o'clock. So I get in. Dr. McCann looks at me and he says, this is the biggest tick that I've ever seen. He said, we live in Wisconsin, so I see a lot of ticks. And this is the biggest tick that I've ever seen. So he takes it out, and I say, you got to get in there and make sure that there's no part of the tick left in there. And he goes, there's not. I said, put on some goggles. Bring an extra light in here. Please make sure. I think I have. And he goes, I know what you're thinking. You probably Googled this, and you're afraid you have Lyme disease. And I said, yes, I am. He said, you don't. First off, this kind of tick rarely has Lyme disease. Second off, you don't have the right kind of rash. Third off, I'm going to give you an antibiotic that's designated just for Lyme disease, and you're going to be good to go. So he does, and I leave. But I'm still freaked out. He thinks the tick had been on me for like 4 days.
John, it can last up to 10 days before you notice. 7 to 10 days, it can latch on you. And I just looked it up. It's an adult female.
And I got the medicine, so I'm good. Do not tell me anything over there that's going to freak me out. My doctor, you're not a doctor. My doctor said I'm good to go. But it's a really big tick, and it's really ugly. Ticks in general are prevalent in Wisconsin. Let's bring in PJ Lee. She's an entomologist at UW. PJ, good to talk to you again. Thanks for being with us.
Pleasure to be here today.
So I think this is a female wood tick, and it's really big and it's really ugly. It's so big that I can really see the details, like of its feet and all of its little creepy, crawly things. How dangerous can wood ticks be?
Yeah, so for the ticks that we have in Wisconsin, and there's actually quite a few different species. Most are associated with wildlife, and you just will not bump into those unless you went looking for them or you were a trapper or something like that. But the main two we see, wood ticks and deer ticks. And in terms of concern, I do worry about deer ticks. If I have a wood tick on me, I really don't worry too much about it.
So the smaller the tick, the better. But how do we know which type of tick? How do you know which tick it is, John?
Well, I do need to tell you this, PJ. My doctor, I was asking him all these questions and finally said, I'm not an entomologist. I'm a doctor. But he and I looked up stuff online. It wasn't just like Googling ticks. It was like medical stuff. And he believes that it is a... PJ, I should have sent you a picture of this.
It looks like the size of the head of a pencil eraser.
It's big. It's like the size of a pencil eraser.
Yeah, I mean, when they start feeding, it's very different than mosquitoes. I mean, mosquitoes land on us within seconds. They can be starting to take a blood meal, and then they don't hang around that long. With ticks, it's a very different process. It takes them a while to actually get their mouth parts in. And then with some species, they actually secrete a glue-like substance to hold the mouth parts in so they don't come off as easily. And then they can stay attached for a very long period of time. It could be a week or more. And during that time, they really start to balloon up like Jabba the Hutt, if you will. And so they may start out relatively small, but when they become engorged, they can easily increase in size by a factor of maybe 10 or 12 or more than that.
Whoa.
Yeah, my doctor said that, and once again, he's not an entomologist, but my doctor said in his experience, this is a tick that had probably been on me for 5 days or more, feeding at the all-you-can-eat John buffet, and that it's engorged. Is that kind of how these things work?
It is, yeah, and there are some websites online. There's one that's called Tick Encounter by the University of Rhode Island, and they actually have some good reference photos of basically feeding stages at, a point when they haven't attached to when they've been attached a day or day and a half to 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 days. And you can really see how they start to swell up just like a balloon. So the longer they're attached, the bigger they get.
So PJ, that's how John didn't know was that goo, was that like kind of, what is that called? Making him not be able to feel it?
Like an anesthetic.
Well, right. Yeah, they have some sneaky ways to make sure that they're a little bit harder for us to find. So they can do some things like that. And also, if the tick is located in a really tucked away spot, like the back of a knee or behind your ear or something like that, you might not see those very easily when you're taking a peek in the mirror after a shower.
Well, yeah, this is on the back of my thigh. Like, I never see that area. And even when I take a shower, that's an area that's tough to reach, so I wouldn't touch that area. It's just in a really odd, weird kind of like crevice.
Okay, PJ, how do we know if it's Lyme's disease? What does it look like on the skin?
Well, if you are bitten by a deer tick that's carrying Lyme disease, and for us at the moment in the state, it's about 40% of the adult deer ticks roughly, and for the juvenile stages, it's about maybe 20-ish or so percent of those. But most folks, if you are bitten by a deer tick that is carrying Lyme, and that tick is attached long enough for transmission to occur, and for Lyme disease, that generally has to be about 36 to 48 hours or longer. But if that happens and you get transmission, most folks will get a characteristic bullseye rash, although not everyone will see that with Lyme disease. And then also, if you have darker skin, it might be quite a bit harder to actually see that rash if it is indeed present.
John, tell PJ your rash. What's going on?
Well, I have a rash, but I went to the doctor. PJ's an entomologist. My doctor said that I'm good. He said it's not the exact right kind of rash, and he gave me a strong antibiotic that he says even if the tick transmitted Lyme disease, that the antibiotic would kill that, and I'm good.
Boy, that's a high level for adults that are carrying that disease, though.
Yeah, that's a high percentage. PJ, we appreciate your expertise.
Sure. Thanks for having me on today.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Whoa, what are you going to do with that tick now?
I don't know.
It's still moving around.
It's still alive. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to freeze it.
No,
I'm going to throw it out.
Are you going to freeze
this,
it?
I'm getting rid of it.
Next to your chocolate Bucks basketball.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm going to put it in the fridge next to my Miller Lite. I don't know. I'm okay. This is not. I don't have Lyme disease.
Better not. I want you getting checked in 30 days.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm absolutely not. No, I got the antibiotic. I got the medicine. There was no parts of the thing in me.
All right, good.
If you want to see the ugly tick we've been talking about, you can text the word tick, T-I-C-K. You'll see the actual tick, the 855-616-1620.
It went on vacation with John. It went all the way to San Diego.
It had a great time down near the water.
Did you drink? Maybe it got a little intoxicated.
Did I drink? That's like asking if I was breathing. Yes.
That tick had a great time.
Yeah, he had a great time. It is 4:26 at WTMJ. Guthrie and Fry, Water Solutions, their water conditioning is the best in the business. Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry water softeners, reverse osmosis systems, friendly, convenient, budget-conscious water conditioning systems. It's Guthrie and Fry, quality products and services at a fair price from a local company you can trust. I trust them. They've been in my house for a long time. They're Southeast Wisconsin's #1 choice. Salt delivery, fixed rental rates, the whole deal, because we all know that better water makes a big difference. The teams I trust are at Guthrie and Fry.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend. Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production. Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week, Marcus and his son Chris are joined by former NBA player Matt Barnes to talk about the NBA playoffs and mental health advocacy. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
If you need a place for new home interior ideas, then you have to come talk to us. Our on-staff decorators know furniture, home decor, and a lot more. And they're not only creative, but also very willing to help you make great choices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Stop in often, because our inventory changes daily.
Design Exchange.
Previously, it has been gently loved, but here you'll only find very well-conditioned premium home decor items that you likely won't find elsewhere. Distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, and other tasteful home decor at a value. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Greg Mansick here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac. Holiday first opened its doors to Wisconsin drivers back in 1959, beginning their partnership with Mazda in 1978. A whole lot has changed since then, but Holiday's decades-long tradition of delighting drivers proudly lives on. Connect with Holiday during their 65th anniversary sales event. Get more Mazda for your money, more for your trade, and score enticing offers like finance rates as low as 0% on most Mazda crossovers now. We're talking all-wheel drive favorites like Mazda CX-5, CX-50, CX-30, and the three-row Mazda CX-90. Be ready for driving season and experience Team Holiday's genuine guest care and simplified buying approach. It's the stuff that makes loyal fans of drivers from all over the Badger State fans like me. I know from experience you'll be in terrific hands with Wisconsin's #1 Mazda dealer on your side. Treat yourself to a test drive. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac and at holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. All in the red today. The Dow off 411 points. The S&P off 39. The NASDAQ down 99. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Each day there's a sliver of time when you can almost breathe freely. And you feel better when you can. But you know that eventually that sliver of time closes, along with your nose. It puts a damper on your day every day. So you pop a pill or you take a spray to try to get that relief back. But it's always short-lived. And all the while, in your efforts to give yourself relief, you may be making your nasal breathing problems worse. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and a simple in-office procedure from Advent called balloon sinuplasty could be the fast and convenient answer to your breathing triangle problems. Advent has been a leader in this procedure, which can be hard to find elsewhere. It's simple, there's little to no downtime, and it really can be life-changing.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
Get the champagne ready. The NBA Finals are here.
Welcome to the NBA Finals.
Let's raise our glasses and our rings to the two phenomenal teams left standing.
My goodness!
Here's to high-stakes action, to thrilling moments we can't miss.
He ties the game at the buzzer!
And to crowning our next champion. Here's a toast to the NBA Finals. The 2024 NBA Finals, presented by YouTube TV, begin Thursday, June 6th on ABC.
St. Vincent de Paul at 76th and Bradley Road is having our grand opening celebration this Father's Day weekend, June 13th through the 15th. Doors open at 9 a.m. and everything's on sale, 20% off. There'll be some great food trucks, cool giveaways, and it's a great chance for thrifters to see a whole new store's worth of inventory and bargains. 76th and Bradley in Milwaukee. Don't miss our grand opening sale, June 13th through the 15th.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Flanners.com. Check them out. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanners Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanners, just press play.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:32. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: a teen at risk for trafficking missing in Kenosha.
I'm Julia Fellow. When the fire comes to the firefighters.
I'm Debbie Laziga. 94 southbound, still dealing with the two left lanes closed at Highway 158 in Kenosha, so careful with that. Good news is 43 northbound, that issue we had at Keefe with that dumpster truck that was stuck in the right lane, that actually has been taken off the freeway. Still solid delays all the way up through the Marquette interchange to that point. Southbound, backing up from Silver Spring down to Keefe. Also, an accident eastbound 94 right about at 68th Street has finally been cleared. We do still have the broken down vehicle that's semi off on the left shoulder, so delays coming out of the Zoo interchange at that point. Northbound 41 finally cleared the accident at Watertown Plank Road. Just a little bit of leftover delays there. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Night will be clear and chilly. The low will be 48 at the lake, 43 inland. Tomorrow you get to see the sun, sunny and beautiful. 65 at the lake, 70 inland.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Kenosha police need help finding a missing teen who might have been trafficked. Kaylee O'Connor was last seen May 19th, about 9:30. She left the Love of Grace residential group home near 42nd and 53rd in Kenosha on foot and did not take any personal belongings or her medication. There are concerns that she's at high risk for trafficking. She's a 17-year-old white female, 5'3", 185 pounds, with red hair and blue eyes, last seen wearing a gray sweatshirt and black pants and carrying a gray and black Steve Madden bag. You can find photos at WTMJ.com.
The family of a 1-year-old responds after cocaine was found in his system while receiving daycare services, they say, from KinderCare in Oak Creek.
I hate driving past this place every day. I can't believe what happened to my son.
Prince's mother, Kimberly Hobson, and his family demanding for accountability from KinderCare and justice served to care worker Passion Watson. Attorney B. Ivory Lamar says,
"We are seeking neglect charges which have been forwarded to the district attorney's office, and we demand that these charges be pursued with the utmost rigor."
From KinderCare in Oak Creek, Julian Johnson, WTMJ News.
2 people are recovering after a forklift accident. It happened today about 10 a.m. at the Case IH plant in Racine. Mount Pleasant police received a report of 2 workers trapped under the forks of a forklift that had fallen on them. The forks were raised by the time officers arrived on the scene. The workers had significant injuries to their lower extremities. They were taken by Flight for Life to Freighter Hospital in Milwaukee for critical but non-life-threatening injuries.
Criminal charges against Scotty Scheffler, the #1 ranked male golfer in the world, may have been dropped by prosecutors in Kentucky. He was facing 4 charges after a traffic incident with a police detective outside the PGA Championship in Louisville. On May 17th, police were investigating a fatal accident that happened involving a pedestrian before this all happened. Scheffler's lawyer says he does not want to sue the Louisville Metro Police Department over his arrest.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers manager Pat Murphy confirms Trevor McGill does not have a fractured elbow. It'll be Cubs Brewers again tonight. Coverage is 6 o'clock here on WTMJ. Block 2 of organized team activities underway for the Packers in Green Bay, and the Milwaukee Admirals take the ice tonight in California. Game 1 of the conference finals in the Calder Cup playoffs. Puck drop at 9 o'clock Central Time.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:36.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano for Absolute Comfort, HVAC and Electrical, joined by Nicole, who along with her husband Brent owns the company. Nicole, why is now a good time to have you out looking at my air conditioner?
Because we want you to get to know us before you have an HVAC or electrical emergency. We will provide maintenance to your AC system so it's ready to operate efficiently on those warm spring days and hot summer nights.
And they are coming. Absolute Comfort, HVAC and Electrical, 262-664-9284, yourcomfortguys.com.
And Sayers is sponsored by TravelWisconsin.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
She is the most fun travel secretary in America. She is Ann Sayers. Ann, good afternoon. Thanks for being here.
Good afternoon.
Fishing. Hey, are you a fisher person?
I pretend to be. I really, really love it, although I do not think I'm great at it.
I'm with you. That's a great way to put it. And boy, we do it big time here in Wisconsin, don't we?
We have just all the right fixings. 2 Great Lakes, rivers and streams, inland lakes, just so many ways to get out there and have a really good time. Did you get it?
Yes, I did.
That's good, Ann.
Hey, and you can pick up this pastime this weekend.
Yes. So this is the free fishing weekend coming up on Saturday, June 1 and Sunday, June 2nd. Residents and visitors can fish in Wisconsin without needing a fishing license. This annual initiative by the DNR is a great opportunity for families and friends to get introduced to the sport of fishing and pick up a hobby that is worth a lifetime of memories. And this event happens to align with Free Fun Weekend, which is also happening Saturday and Sunday, where you can get into all 50 state parks and 15 state forests without an admission sticker. Many community groups host fishing clinics this weekend, including in-state park properties, so you'll have plenty of reasons to wet your line this weekend.
I love it. That sounds fun. And in the Driftless area, there's something pretty cool.
Yeah, Yellowstone Lake State Park. This is in Lafayette County for fishing and fun in the rolling driftless area. Just outside Blanchardville, the human-made Yellowstone Lake is one of a handful of lakes in the driftless region. You're going to discover a gorgeous tree-lined lake that's full of crappies, walleye, bass, pike, and more. So you can either launch your own boat at one of the 2 ramps or rent pontoons, canoes, and kayaks right there at the state park. And Yellowstone Lake also offers free basic fishing gear for anglers of all ages to use, and the on-site store stocks bait and tackle if you run out. So really everything you need is right there. Plus, I love this idea. You can spend the night in a vintage camper at the nearby Circle M Market Farm. It's nestled in a cozy valley. The farm offers 3 mid-century campers for visitors to rent, each decorated with one-of-a-kind vintage finds. So when the day winds down, you can settle in around the bonfire, enjoy some of that fantastic stargazing and the driftless. And I feel like this whole scene we've just painted deserves a local beer.
Oh, man, you're right about that. That sounds fantastic, Ann.
And Wisconsin, Ann, is the muskie capital of the world.
Yes, so they call it the fish of 10,000 casts, and you can find it in one of the best places in Wisconsin for muskie, Boulder Junction. This Vilas County community touts the title of the muskie capital of the world, and it's on every angler's bucket list to land one of these iconic behemoths. You'll find plenty of help to do so in Boulder Junction. There's several local fishing guides that are going to lend their knowledge and expertise to the area to you to help you find the best fishing spots. Bob's Manitowish Guide Service, for example, they lean on over 35 years of fishing the area lakes and rivers to help visitors land that muskie. And while there, book a cabin at Evergreen Lodge for your base camp. In business for nearly a century, Evergreen Lodge is a summer family and fishing resort in Boulder Junction. It's located on Little Crooked Lake, which is a Class A muskie lake, so you have even more chances to land the big one.
That sounds awesome. This is a really good time, too. I've done this a couple times, charter fishing on Lake Michigan, or you can do Superior, I guess. This is amazing.
This is amazing. I'm with you. So Wisconsin is so fortunate to be lined by 800 miles of Great Lakes shoreline. And really, it's like an ocean-like excursion when you go out charter fishing. It's an unforgettable experience for a friend's getaway, even a family trip. Along the Lake Michigan coastline, you're going to find professional guides in communities from the Door Peninsula all the way to the state line. One Idea Albatross Fishing Charters in Kenosha. They lead anglers more than 10 miles out into the lake in search of salmon and trout, both delicious from Lake Michigan. And then on Lake Superior, Superior Sport Fishing curates a distinctive expedition. The Bayfield-based business guides travelers throughout the picturesque Apostle Islands, giving you plenty to gawk at in between catching all those fish.
Oh, that sounds so much fun. And what do you call a fish that wears a bow tie? Sophisticated.
Oh, so good. So good.
Sophisticated. Are you a seafood eater? Do you like seafood?
I am. Hey, can I match your joke?
Yeah, what do you got?
What do you call a fish without an eye?
A fish without an eye. What do I give up? What? I think you won. That's pretty funny, Ann. That's pretty good. What's a fish's favorite instrument?
Oh no, what?
A bass guitar. Okay, maybe we should stop here now.
Okay.
Ann Sayers is Wisconsin's travel secretary. Check out travelwisconsin.com. Ann, it's always great to have you with us. Have a great rest of the week.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks, Ann.
It's 4:43 at WTMJ. Dale Coingo with us live in the studio up next.
It's like playing baseball in the house
Mom, Dad broke the window.
without the risk of
Again.
that. Every Thursday at 8:40, play virtual baseball on Wisconsin's Morning News. Step up to the virtual plate and test your mettle against the best.
Swing and a drive to right.
It's virtual baseball, presented by Siding Unlimited. Only played here on WTMJ.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for Badger Fence. If you listen to my show, you heard me talk about the beautiful new cedar fence I had installed at my home a couple years ago. Well, the company I trusted with that job is Badger Fence. They've been installing high-quality, durable fences in the metro Milwaukee area since 1945. They're a proud member of the Better Business Bureau with an A-plus rating. If privacy, security, and a wide choice of fence styles are top of mind when choosing a fence for your property, then Badger Fence is the right company. They're licensed, bonded, insured, and use the best materials in the industry. With more than 75 years of experience, Badger Fence knows that premium fence materials, design options, and affordability all play an important role in your overall satisfaction with your fencing project. So whether you want wood, which is what we chose, ornamental, chain link, or even PVC, they can help you choose the right materials for your fence project. And when it comes to quality, they are unmatched in the industry. We love our new wood fence, and when my wife Kathy and I were shopping around for fence companies, we found the right match with Badger Fence. To set up an appointment to talk with Badger Fence about your project, go to badgerfence.com. Tell them Scafidi from WTMJ sent you.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. Now that St. Paul Avenue is finally repaired, parking is easy for shopping at our showroom, where you'll see the newest styles of LED lights, chandeliers, ceiling fans, lamps, and mirrors. We sell every major brand, such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Hubbardton, and hundreds more. And our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. BBC is an illuminating experience for the whole family to enjoy, including our famous free popcorn. We're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and Saturday 10 to 4. BBC is located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue near Potawatomi, Sobelman's, and Bachman Furniture. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
It's Heiser's amazing sales event. With Mother's Day, Memorial Day, graduations, and more, there's a lot to celebrate this month. Whether you're giving a gift or treating yourself to a vehicle upgrade, our amazing team will help you choose the best option. And to make things even better, you'll receive our exclusive Safe and Sound program, which includes a multitude of benefits. See all offers and details at Heiser.com and let us amaze you today. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
Let's check this out. We are sponsored with traffic by 2 Men and a Junk Truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at 2menandajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
Traffic and weather. Let's get a look at your roads with Debbie Lazaga.
All right, Julia, we've got delays, but luckily a lot of the issues that we had before are clearing up. We just still have backups on southbound 43, basically from Silver Spring down towards Keefe. The northbound side is backing up out of the Marquette interchange all the way up to Keefe. Oh, and by the way, southbound continues heavy from North Avenue all the way down through the Marquette and onto 4394 southbound. Now, the westbound side of 94, that's heavy out of the Marquette out to Mitchell Boulevard. Pretty typical stuff. It also backs up from just about Brookfield Road through the Gerkes Corners area, heading towards Highway F, heads up in that area. Eastbound 94 backing up out of the Zoo interchange all the way through to about Hawley Road, back on the brakes through the stadium itself. And then 894 westbound, as per usual, right out of the Mitchell interchange to 68th Street through that construction zone. Going to be a heavy ride. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight we have clear skies. It'll be cool. The low will be 48. Tomorrow, sunny skies. 65 at the lake, 70 inland. Friday, mostly sunny. You can see the sun. 73 at the lake, 75 inland. Saturday, partly cloudy. There's chances for rain throughout the day. 70 at the lake, 74 inland. Sunday, partly cloudy. Really hot. 75 at the lake, 80 inland.
I missed the best fish joke, Fran Sayers. What do you call a fish that can sing? A tuna fish.
We need a laugh track for you.
Dale Koinga is the president and CEO of the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce. It's always good when he is here with us, and he's in the studio. Dale, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you two doing?
Good. We are really interested in this topic. Workplace shifts, we're now working remote, many people, contribute to loneliness in American workers. This is fascinating. What did we find here?
Well, you should be interested in it because if you have family or loved ones or friends, this is, my read on this is not an issue that has come up through COVID and remote work. This is a longer story. So in 2000, there was a book published by Robert Putnam. It's called Bowling Alone. And he's a social commentator. And he talked about the increasing trend in America for individuals to be by themselves and isolated. And what I see has happened, this article really puts it out there, is that COVID and then remote work has exacerbated this. And the numbers on loneliness in America are higher than they ever been. So 68% of workers just 68% say they know their coworkers at a personal level, down from 79% 5 years ago. And the U.S. adults who call themselves lonely has climbed to 58% from 46%.
Wow.
So we have an epidemic of loneliness, which goes into all sorts of other issues. I mean, loneliness will actually affect your health. Loneliness obviously leads to more suicidal tendencies. It leads to more disconnectedness. So this is the problem. And I think employers and family and friends and everyone else, if you're in this remote work world, there's a lot of benefits. There's also a lot of things to look at. I mean, some of these remote workers say they haven't left their house in 4 days.
That's insane.
Ooh, no.
And there's been other work that shows that it really impacts your mental health because you're not hanging out with people. You're not having conversations. You're not brainstorming and collaborating. You're literally looking at a computer screen all day, and that changes your makeup and your outlook.
Yeah, it does. And so what we're doing at MMAC is we like to lead by example on this. And so we have a policy that our employees have to be in the office at least 3 days a week. And most of them come in 4, but just we want to see each other. And so some tips I have out there for folks as well is the other part of this is with calendars being more prevalent is people fill up their calendars from front to back with meetings. And so the number of meetings has gone through the roof.
What's with that?
It's not good. Because I think there's what it does is it takes out that unscheduled time. And so what you need is that water cooler talk. Just that stopping by the office. Hey, what'd you do this Memorial Day? Oh, you were there. I was there too. What'd you think about that? That small talk is very, very important. So I think that's very important to not overschedule your meeting time and have some time just to walk around your office. We have a cool community here, don't we? I mean, we have the Good Karma brands, Grafe upstairs, Omar, what he's doing out here. It's a great community. It's
John,
really
you
cool.
make sure the meetings are short with us for Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
I don't like meetings. Our meetings are always quick and to the point.
The other thing I will do, I recommend, is a book called Deep Work and talks about the need to actually block off time, but block off time where you're actually going to really dig deep into an issue. So this is a good example. I mean, this loneliness here, we're talking about loneliness. There's a single article, but what I'll do is I'll take a 3-hour block of my calendar, no distractions, and then I really want to do a deep dive on loneliness, right? No distractions, really, because we've come about Twitter, social media, fast clip society, and so I think that's the trifecta. Is make sure your calendar, got to have meetings, have unscheduled time, but also have time where you have no distractions and really dig deep into something that interests you.
Because this is leading to turnover and absences, right? It's costing businesses.
It is. And so at business, I think, and you're seeing some momentum. We're seeing definitely in the Milwaukee area. I mean, that's one of the things we do at MMAC is we have conversations, keep our finger on the pulse of the business community. And there is a tendency for companies to do more and more in person. That's why I think you're seeing a momentum, a lot of companies moving from suburban locations to a downtown vibe, is they want to have a vibe, they want to have a feel, and they want to give people a reason to come into work.
So we're all in here. We're 5 days a week, and that's whether you're in marketing, sales, support, on air, and we've been that way since 6 months into the pandemic. Our owner said, we're better when we're together.
You are.
And we need to figure that out, and so we're all in. And the fear was that there would be a lot of turnover here because that's when everybody was still remote. And all the research was showing that people wanted flexibility. They didn't feel safe, but they also wanted the freedom to be remote. And we lost almost nobody. I think if your company has the right culture and is run the right way, people want to be together.
I agree. What we do too is you couple that with a degree of flexibility. So we also want to have people with healthy family lives, pursue other interests. And so that combination of we want to be in person, we want to be present, we want to see you, we want to hang out with you, but having that flexibility to also go home. One of my employees today, I had a sick kid. Go home, work from home, right?
Yep.
So that's the balance. I think that is the right answer.
Yeah, I think you're right. Dale Coinga's with it. He's the president of MMAC. Airbnb making some news with reservation policies here in Wisconsin and other places. What's going on with Airbnb and how they're booking things out or not booking things out for the summer?
Well, one of the big fears with an Airbnb is, what if I rent out my dig and my dig becomes a huge party place? And not only then do I have property damage at my place, but all my neighbors are going to be ticked off. My city may clamp down on these types of rentals.
Liabilities.
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of reasons. I mean, I probably don't have to explain why all the reasons you'd be concerned with this, but it's a timely article because a lot of people, as we look at the RNC, will say, hey, how can I make a couple dollars off this? And Airbnb is one of those options. But the good news is when you're talking about applications of big data, artificial intelligence, is Airbnb has developed algorithms to identify the characteristics that lead to parties. And so Airbnb has been very successful in actually clamping down on this party behavior. So they're actually down to that only 0.035% of reservations result in a party. So that's about half of what it was a couple of years ago.
Wow.
But they will look at things as far as where people are coming from, where they're going to. One of the big indications is a one-night stay. A one-night stay pretty much says we're going to go and we're going to wreak havoc in your house and leave. So
well, what would tell me was
helps.
probably multiple bedrooms too. If there's a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't think they released all the reasons but there were some things where that makes sense as far as where they're coming from, where they're going to, and how long they stay. So that's good.
Yeah, so we have a 2-room condo in Hilton Head that we rented out.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we rented out last year. We made $40,000 renting it out, but we don't have the condo anymore. We bought a house there instead. But when we rented the condo, our big fear all the time was people don't treat it like it's their own place.
Right.
Nope.
And they just don't. And I would include myself in that. I don't treat a hotel room probably quite like I treat where my own place is. And so we developed pretty strict parameters that would weed a lot of that out. We set the age limit really high. We set the price really high. We set the minimum stay at 4 nights to just the point that you were making. But it's a real issue. And I wonder how this will play into the RNC coming to town and lots of people wanting to rent their place out here.
Yeah, hopefully I don't think the RNC crowd's going to throw a big bash at your house of that nature.
Well, they can drink till 4 in the morning, so they're going to be just
here. Yeah, I think they just want a pillow to sleep there. Did you ever have any parties at your place when you rented it out?
Only one time, and we never had anybody damage it or really steal anything. Weird things went missing, like it was on the beach, and so over and over and over again, the ice cream scooper went missing. And we asked the company that managed our property, how the hell's the ice cream scooper missing? And he said, even though you have a closet full of beach toys, people take it down to the beach. And so the ice cream scooper went missing all the time. The other thing
do you
was
think
cookie
because they were
sheets.
serving ice cream at the beach, or do you think it's the kids don't have a proper shovel?
That's
so like,
it.
oh, we're going to do a
Sand toy.
sandcastle, and
Yeah, they were using it as a sand
so
toy.
you're responsible
Oh my
for
God.
you're responsible for 50 ice cream scoopers in the Atlantic Ocean.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Oh.
Well, my wife is. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Yes. Isn't that a weird thing?
It is a weird thing.
Yeah, so, Dale Koinga is the guy in charge of MMAC. It's always fun to have you. Good conversation, Dale.
It is fun.
Thank you.
Thank you. It is 4:56 at WTMJ.
Old Guard Games opens in the space formerly occupied by Panther Bookstore on Downer Avenue. Additional plans for the property include a future barbershop and coffee shop, both slated to open in late summer. River West Brew Pub Company Brewing announces its closure after 9 years of operation. The brewery had previously explored the possibility of new ownership or investment options back in January. The Novo Nessus Bioscience plant plans a $75 million expansion. The proposal calls for a two-story, 52,000 square foot expansion of the West Allis plant for new production equipment. If approved, construction would begin in July with substantial completion in June 2026. I'm Logan Hansen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Business headlines sponsored by the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
For over 130 years, the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee has been delighting guests with impeccable service and luxurious accommodations. Celebrate your next special occasion with a stay at the Pfister. Enjoy fine dining at its acclaimed restaurants and pamper yourself with a service from the Well Spa and Salon. Experience the hotel's afternoon tea program or take in live music with the best views of the city from Blue, the 23rd floor cocktail lounge. There's always a reason to celebrate with the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today at thepfisterhotel.com.
Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, their mission is to transform the culture of care. They're the best thing going. I know because I've been in their facilities. They care. It's about empathy and compassion at Azura. They specialize in caring for those with late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They provide additional daily living assistance for those with cognitive decline. We live longer. That means many of our families are going to be impacted by these sort of issues. The company I trust is Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. It's a company with heart. Wisconsin-based, family-owned, locations throughout Wisconsin. 4 here in the Milwaukee area. It's Azura.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community, and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
We asked people why they sold their homes to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
Everything they say in their ads is true and then some. A very fair price, no real estate agent fees or closing costs. They even switched the utilities out of your name.
Within weeks, we had closed and couldn't be happier.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
Annex Wealth Management. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Forget commission sales pitches and financial products you don't need. Know the difference. Annex provides elite, comprehensive financial planning customized to who you are and what you need. AnnexWealth.com.
Not wearing your seatbelt could cost you a ticket or your life. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Are you tired of being tired? Go to AdventKnows.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Weisgerber's Golden Mast Inn, your place on the lake. Visit goldenmastin.com.
Make plans to attend the Golden Mast Inn Business Showcase. See their event space during a complimentary open house on Monday, June 3rd from 4 until 7. Register at goldenmastin.com.
The all-time winningest manager in Brewers franchise history is gone. And he's going straight to the rival.
Our Brewers Cubs coverage starts tonight at 6:05 on your home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, a mother in Fond du Lac accused of trafficking her own daughter.
I'm Julia Fellow, taking a look at the state of artificial intelligence.
I'm Debbie Loziga. Southbound on 41, backed up from Appleton Avenue, pretty much all the way down to Capitol Drive. Northbound slow from Mayfair Road all the way up to Capitol. We've got southbound 43 backing up from Silver Spring all the way down past Keith, and then back on brakes from North Avenue down through the Marquette and over the high rise. Northbound side's backed up as well from about the high rise bridge all the way up to Keith. We've got some backups westbound 94 from 20th Street all the way to about Hawley Road. Back on the brakes as you cross over the county line, and they stay heavy all the way past Calhoun, and then back on the brakes from Gerke's Corners all the way to Highway F. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, clear and chilly, a low of 43. Tomorrow, sunny and beautiful, a high of 70 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a mother's charged with attempting to traffic her 12-year-old daughter in Fond du Lac County.
Elia Antonio is accused of handing her daughter off to Juan Carlos Roja Mejia on the night of May 18th in the town of Oakfield. Roja Mejia then drove the victim to a field where he allegedly taped her hand to a seat and sexually assaulted her. The victim was able to fight her way out of the van, running to a nearby home for help. Investigators say at no point during the incident did Antonio call 911, and that both Antonio and Roja Mejia are in the country illegally. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
What started as an abrasion to a nose, escalated to a black eye, and ended with cocaine in an 11-month-old baby.
That was attorney B. Ivory Lamar speaking on behalf of the family whose baby was found with cocaine in the child system. Police arrested 24-year-old Passion Watson, a child care worker at the KinderCare in Oak Creek last week after this discovery. The children's parents says it started with noticing several scratches and marks all over their infant. This led to police searching the child care facility, finding a plastic bag filled with white powder, later identified as cocaine, in that employee's backpack. Watson was released on a $1,500 signature bond due back in court next month. The KinderCare in Oak Creek remains open.
A fire comes to the firefighters. Two separate vehicle fires erupting near simultaneously on Interstate 94 in the village of Johnson Creek. The Johnson Creek Fire Department responded to passenger vehicle fully engulfed in flames just after 11 a.m. yesterday. After crews extinguished that fire, a pickup truck approached the scene with heavy smoke coming from an attached trailer. Firefighters quickly shifted from cleaning up the first fire to extinguishing the trailer fire. The pickup truck was not damaged. The trailer sustained only minimal damage.
Jurors have been excused for the day in the Donald Trump criminal trial in New York. Just a few hours into their deliberations, they requested to rehear testimony given by witness David Packer, head of the National Enquirer's publisher, and Michael Cohen. They'll also rehear the judge's instructions. Jurors will get right back to it tomorrow morning.
Although artificial intelligence has improved technology, like any tool, it can be used for harm.
The United States have yet to implement any comprehensive privacy legislation for AI. Microsoft Senior Director of Public Policy Ryan Harkins says they've been urging for AI protection laws since 2005. He tells WTMJ,
"We need laws in place, laws that not only provide more opportunities and more benefits, but laws to help ensure we're addressing and minimizing risks of harm, whether they're safety risks or risks of discrimination or bias or other risks."
Julian Johnson, WTMJ News.
Microsoft is on track to build a $3.3 billion AI data center that will equip over 100,000 residents with AI skills. Coming up, be on the lookout for bicycles this weekend.
Plus, how goats help solve a difficult task. That's coming up at 5:09.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:05.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Jeff Levering and wife Ashley love their patio door from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It's so bright, it's so clear. I can see the kids outside playing, and it makes it comfortable for the life we live, which is an active one.
I love the roll screen. The fact that the screen is on the inside.
For the first time, our whole house actually feels like the same climate.
And no drafts. It's a game changer.
Hi, I'm Gina Della from Pella. And if you order today, you get 0% interest for up to 48 months. When it comes to replacing or upgrading your windows and doors, you want to be confident about your decisions. With Pella Design Works, you can see what your home could look like before you buy. Black frame windows or white, vinyl, wood, or fiberglass. Bring your vision to life and rest assured it's the perfect style for your home. Right now, get 0% interest-free financing for up to 48 months when you order by May 31st. Set your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. That's 5/31/2024.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Come on, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Hey, WTMJ's Sean Mercure here. It was time to paint the outside of our house, and I was overwhelmed. I really wasn't looking forward to it. Thank goodness I got in touch with CertaPro Painters, each business independently owned and operated right here in Wisconsin. They made it easy. They were quick. They were efficient. They were friendly and fun. It's CertaPro Painters. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. My home has never looked better, literally. I couldn't be happier. It's CertaPro Painters. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 5:07. The Hone Bridge will be closed to traffic for part of Sunday to make way for the annual UPAF Ride for the Arts. UPAF's Katie Korick tells Wisconsin's Morning News making the Hone part of the course is a big draw.
We absolutely have those hardcore cyclists. This is one of the first rides of the cycling season, per se, so they kind of use this as a warm-up for all the other races they have going forward. But it's also perfect for the whole family. There are people who bring tricycles over the Hone Bridge.
Riders can sign up even on the morning of the event, again this Sunday. For more information, click on the story at WTMJ.com.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Brewers manager Pat Murphy confirms reliever Trevor McGill does not have a fractured elbow. He took a liner off his pitching elbow in the 10th inning of last night's loss to the Cubs. The two teams will meet again tonight in Milwaukee. Coverage begins at 6 o'clock right here on WTMJ. Block 2 of organized team activities underway for the Packers, who are on practice field today. Milwaukee Admirals take the ice in California in Game 2 of the conference finals in the Calder Cup playoffs. Puck drops at 9 o'clock Central Time.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 5:08.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for J.D. Griffiths. It was time for us. Our house was 20 plus years old, and the garage doors were getting dated. They were dinged up, and they were really hurting the value and the look of our house. That's why we called J.D. Griffiths, a local company. They've been at it in Milwaukee for more than 70 years, providing premier garage doors and building detached garages. We've got our new doors now, and they pop. I still got neighbors talking to me about it. Now, J.D. Griffiths does have an exclusive offer right now for you, the WTMJ listener. With any purchase of a new garage door, you can save $100 on your garage door opener. Just call 414-362-7222 and mention me, WTMJ's Eric Bilstead, or fill out the form at jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ to schedule your free at-home estimate and claim your deal. That number again, 414-362-7222. J.D. Griffiths.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
So happy you're back, John.
It's good to be back. It's Wednesday. Let's talk about what's going on at Sunburst, the ski hill, because this is kind of an interesting little story. So Sunburst Ski Hill has a new way that they're doing their landscaping this summer. So usually they hire a lot of seasonal workers to keep up with the grass. And it's a hill, so you can't use a lawnmower on a lot of the hill. So instead they have people walking around with weed whackers and other equipment. They're up and down the hill all summer. They've been doing it this way since 1961 when they opened up. And this year they have some new employees. The employees are Billie Jean, Bruce Wayne, Cat, one's named Burton, and one's named Goatzart. They're 5 young male Nubian goats who are the hill's newest employees.
Gosh. They're so loud.
They are
Sometimes
loud.
they scream.
They've been hired to do goatscaping. So they're working the hills. They are actually wandering up and down the hills, and they're eating the grass. So the owners of this Sunburst, what's this place called?
Sunburst.
Sunburst Ski Hill, say they're saving a lot of money on gas, employee wages. It's easier on their employees. It's a 77-acre area. And they say each goat weighs about 130 pounds and can eat 5 to 6 pounds of brush and grass each day.
Oh, yeah. They can devour anything. They even devour Christmas trees. Like after Christmas.
That's hardcore.
I went to this one farm and they said, please don't eat your live Christmas trees.
Really?
My goats love to eat them.
So that means that 5 fully grown goats can devour about an acre a day.
Excellent.
Yeah, so they'll start at one end and they'll devour that. Then they go to the other end. Then by the time they're done with that, it's time to go back to the first end. And all summer long, the goats will be taking care of the ski hill.
They do that sometimes to clear out some of the brush on trails and stuff.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
They say if it works, they're going to get 5 more next year. So they'll have 10 next year.
That's cool. Have you ever done goat yoga before?
No, have you?
Yes, with little goats.
You have? Oh my gosh, are they cute little baby
Yes,
goats?
they love climbing on you. It's so funny.
Oh.
Everybody just laughs.
Where'd you do that?
In Madison.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, a couple years ago. It was really fun.
So we're trying to get Al Johnson's, the famed goat people. They probably have the most famous goats at the Al Johnson restaurant in Door County. Trying to get them on the show. So maybe we will tomorrow, and that would be fun. Find out how goats work. Coming up, a couple of things. The Negro Leagues will have their baseball stats included. That could impact the most famous baseball player ever to play in Milwaukee. And Appleton offering nonstop flights to every place the Packers will play a road game, except I think Brazil. We will have that conversation with Rose Gray, Fox World Travel. It's all up next on WTMJ.
I'm Jessica Tai. President Biden is on his way to Racine County. That's where he'll announce a $3.3 billion investment by Microsoft to build a new AI data center in Mount Pleasant.
And I'm Greg Matzik. It's kind of a calm and dank sort of day. That's right, dank.
Buffalo on County Highway E. It is still believed to be on the loose. They can run up to 30 miles per hour. When it comes to the three of us, the Buffalo's running the fastest. You're second, and I'm coming up third.
Okay, right. Well, we'll just go in different directions then. You'll have to choose.
Wisconsin's Midday News.
On WTMJ.
Join us July 22nd through July 28th for the world's greatest aviation celebration. Enjoy a week featuring thousands of aircraft and see the legendary Canadian Forces Snowbirds, who will be at EAA this year. EAA AirVenture Oshkosh is happy to offer free youth admission for those 18 and under, supported in part by the Boeing Company, so bring the whole family. EAA AirVenture Oshkosh, July 22nd through the 28th. For more information and to buy tickets, visit airventure.org. It's EAA AirVenture, one of the most exciting things we do in Wisconsin every single year. We'll broadcast live from there the Friday of EAA. EAA AirVenture.org.
When a new baby is added to the mix, saving money becomes a real priority. Shopping at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores can help. With an abundance of baby clothing and toys, all thrift store priced at pennies on the dollar. You'll spend a little to get a lot. Find great deals on gently used baby clothes and toys at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Abby with Abby Windows here. If I had $1 for every time customers said, all windows look the same, just give me a price. Well, if that's the case, then you haven't seen ours yet. You're right. Most windows have welds that are ugly, jagged, and look all stitched up, similar to wearing your shirt inside out. I call them Frankenstein windows. If you want a clean, seamless miter that's not inside out, enter our fine line weld technology. Trust me, you'll believe it once you see it. For the best looking window on the market, call Abby Windows today. And if somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl.
Traffic is sponsored by Flanders Home Entertainment, Flanders.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanders Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanders, just press play.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Laziga. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John. Yep, backups. We've got an accident with the right lane blocked on 43 southbound at North Avenue. So that's going to be making for a nasty ride all the way down from Hampton. Northbound's backed up out of the Marquette all the way past the accident scene up to about Keith. Westbound 94, watch for delays from 25th Street to about Mitchell Boulevard. You're back on the brakes crossing over the county line into Waukesha County. And then backups west of Calhoun all the way through to about Highway F. So it is going to be a bit of a slow ride through there. Also seeing delays southbound on 894 right now, slowing down from before Oklahoma Avenue down and around the Hale to 894 eastbound to about Forest Home. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, clear skies, a low of 48. Tomorrow, sunny skies, a high of 70. Friday, sunny, 75. Saturday, a chance for rain, 74. On Sunday, partly cloudy, a high of 80 degrees.
Take me out to the ball game.
This was big news. Major League Baseball has decided to incorporate the statistics of former Negro Leagues players into its historic records on its website. That means in some categories, if you're a baseball fan, the leaders have changed. Growing up, I always thought that Ty Cobb has the highest batting average of any player ever. Not anymore. A guy named Josh Gibson, one of the greatest sluggers in the history of baseball, played his whole career in the Negro Leagues, is now listed as the all-time leader in batting average, moving ahead of Cobb. Major League Baseball decided, look, in the 20s and 30s and into the 40s, we didn't let black players play in the big leagues.
Right.
And that wasn't right. So the leagues they were able to play in, we're going to take those statistics if we can verify them, and we're going to include them in our record books because they were also great baseball players. I love this. And guys like Willie Mays, who played in the major leagues and is a Hall of Famer, he played in the Negro Leagues for a while. Lots of other famous players, including Hank Aaron, probably the most famous Milwaukee Brave and Milwaukee Brewer. And so he played part of 1 year for the Indianapolis Clowns, one of the best teams in the Negro Leagues. And he had 5 home runs, 33 RBIs, 41 hits, and 9 stolen bases, and batted .366. So if you add those stats to his numbers will be much higher than we believed that they were. Major League Baseball says, look, it's just important to realize that they should have been playing in the big leagues longer before they ever were, and so we want to celebrate them and include their statistics as well. So good for them. Hey, speaking of sports, Packers' schedule is out. They've got a lot of cool away games. The Appleton Airport says that they are going to fly folks to every away game. I tried to look this up, and I called them and didn't get a call back. I don't think that includes Brazil. The Packers play in Brazil. But all the other games, what's it like to travel for the Packers on the road? You know who knows travel.
Rose Gray.
Rose Gray will be with us live up next on WTMJ. Sit Means Sit dog training. Bella and Baxter are great dogs, and they're better dogs now because of Sit Means Sit dog training. Dogs can be like having children at home, and a lot like raising children, dogs didn't always listen so well. I started with Matt at Sit Means Sit dog training. Now the dogs are awesome because I know how to be a better dog owner. We've had a great experience, even better results. Our dogs are better behaved. It's Sit Means Sit dog training. As a client, I know the good work they do at Sit Means Sit. I trust them. You too can have a happy, confident, obedient dog. Contact Sit Means Sit dog training today to schedule a free consultation. It's Sit Means Sit dog training.
Grab tickets to any Brewers game now. Next up, it's a can't-miss homestand against the Cubs and the White Sox the week of May 27th through June 2nd. Open up a new chapter of the I-94 rivalry May 27th through the 30th as the Brewers take on the Cubs. Then join Happy Days theme night for a Bronze Fonz bobblehead at the game on Friday, May 31st. Get in on a big week of Brewers action now at brewers.com/tickets.
This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, and I want to talk about exactly what we do. When you come here, you're going to get 2 shots with 2 very small needles. One will be a medication called Toradol, which is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, completely different from a standard steroid or cortisone injection. This medication is safe and a great pain reliever. The other will be hyaluronic acid, which is a naturally occurring fluid found in all of our joints. What hyaluronic acid does is it helps recoat the inside surfaces to provide cushioning and lubrication. It helps slow down the osteoarthritis process to a point where patients may not need surgery. All of this combined with using our state-of-the-art Ultra G machine developed by NASA has produced profound results. What we do works. And the best part about this is that insurance covers most of our patients' treatments.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Quality heating.
Heat pumps have been the norm down south, but they're new up here. And I'm a big advocate for them. They're far more efficient than conventional AC systems and serve as a backup to your furnace too. They don't use gas and they're really efficient. And that's why the government basically pays for a big portion of these babies with rebates. So before you install a conventional AC system, ask the man in the red van about an Armstrong air heat pump.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality heating, quality heating.
Manufacturers can void a warranty if annual maintenance can't be proven. Having a preventive maintenance agreement on your HVAC system keeps your warranty in check, helps avoid nuisance calls and your system failing at inopportune times. You get 15% off parts and labor on repairs, no trip charges, discounted pricing for replacements, and priority service. This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality Heating. See the man in the red van about a preventive maintenance agreement starting at only $25.50 per month.
Quality heating, quality heating.
Hey, how about this? The Appleton Airport says we want to be able to fly Packers fans to all their away games, except I think the Brazil game. But they're actually adding flights out of Appleton to places they don't usually service, like Nashville, Los Angeles, a direct flight, Jacksonville, so that Packers fans can go.
It's amazing.
It's so cool. Rose Gray is with us. The Rose Gray Fox World Travel Show is heard Saturdays at 9 on WTMJ. Rose, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is indeed fantastic news. We love the Appleton Airport. The parking is so convenient and wonderful. The people there are so great. It's such a small hometown experience. We love it.
Have you flown for Packers games?
I have flown for Packer games, but never out of Appleton. I have to confess, I had not flown Allegiant Airlines until I needed a nonstop flight to Fort Lauderdale, and Allegiant had that for me out of Appleton at the end of November. And I must say I had some misgivings because they are definitely a discount carrier, but to know, there was no reason for me to fear. It was a wonderful experience.
That's so good to hear. And Rose, Allegiant is one of the carriers we use for Stars and Stripes honor flights. So they fly our veterans to Washington, D.C. sometimes. What are some things people should think about if they want to travel to see the Packers? This is a different kind of very specific trip. What should people think about if they're trying to decide if this is something they want to do?
Right. So first of all, I have to tell you that they're being very transparent with their marketing and with their media responses to the inquiries, in that letting us know that it's going to be a bit more expensive than you would normally think. So I don't know, John, if they're doing the Seattle trip. I have not yet been able to find that, but I did some research, so we can do Nashville as of 3 o'clock this afternoon when I ran this experiment for $439 round trip out of Appleton. We can do LAX for $798. Now, some would say that's a little high, but we have to realize we have no nonstop out of Milwaukee to LAX.
Right.
So we don't have any competition there. And then Jacksonville is $718 round trip, and that's at the end of October. So these are specific dates with specific flights that Allegiant is just adding aircraft for that one game. So if you know what weather could be like at the end of October, or any time for that matter in Wisconsin, nonstop seems very appealing to me.
You're right, Rose, and a lot of people are willing to pay a little bit extra if it means that they're going to get there and the schedule is okay. And it looks like for a lot of them, they leave at decent times, like on the Friday before for some of these. You come back generally on the Monday after. I mean, this is definitely very specifically for Packers fans.
Right, and truly the only competition I could see was the Nashville game. And our friends at Southwest do fly nonstop out of Milwaukee. However, as you can imagine, because that schedule has been out as long as it's been, the nonstop good fares, and if, for those of you who fly Southwest, if I say a wanna-getaway fare, that means a discounted fare, those are already gone. So historically, I looked back at what the least expensive would have been prior to the release of the Packer game schedule, and it would have been $240 round trip. But right now, we're definitely over that $430 that they're charging out of Appleton on Allegiant.
I think this is really smart. What do you think about Appleton Airport doing this? I think that it shows the power of the Packers.
I think it shows the power of the Packers, and it also shows the voice and power of the passengers who asked for something and they gave it to them. And that's what we love about both Milwaukee and Appleton airports. They are very good at listening to what the flyers are requesting. And that's why you'll often hear commercials for Fly Milwaukee, because the more we service that airport, the more likely we are to get those nonstops to LAX or other destinations that we want.
Yeah, you know, Rose, and I talked to the guy at the airport 2 weeks ago, and he told me, like, I flew to San Diego, and I made sure that I flew out of Milwaukee. And he said they track that I flew from Milwaukee and ended up in San Diego, even though I had to go somewhere else. So he said they track that someone from Milwaukee went to San Diego, even though I had to go through Minneapolis, and they use that then to try to say, look, we had 17 people last month that flew to San Diego. We need a direct flight or, you know, whatever.
Right. And not only that, but Appleton is saying to Allegiant Airlines, look what power, what buying power the Packer fans have. We know, right, you guys, what great fans, all sports, the Wisconsin fans are, and they're just saying, trust us, Allegiant. We know what we're doing. We are going to fill these planes up for you.
Oh, they will. It'll be a fun, raucous flight.
Oh, my God. It'll be so good. Rose Gray.
Yeah, we're excited. We're excited about it. So, you know what? Do Appleton and Milwaukee a solid. Whenever you can fly out of a Wisconsin hometown airport, do it.
Yes, I'm with you, Rose. Check out Rose 9 o'clock Saturday mornings here on WTMJ. It's probably the most fun hour on the radio. Rose, thank you so much.
Thanks, Julia and John.
It is 5:27 at WTMJ, and it's 100 days from today that the Packers play in Brazil.
Ooh.
How about that? That would be a great trip.
I want to go there.
Yeah, can we do the show from there?
Let's do it, John.
Me, you, Isaac. Let's go do the show from Brazil. How good would that be? 5:27, let's check out how the markets did. Well, it wasn't a great day. It was all in the red today. The Dow slid 400 points, ending down 411 when it was all said and done. The S&P 500 was off 39 points. The NASDAQ was off 99 points on the day. Inflation isn't going away. Download your copy of Safeguarding Against Inflation Strategies for Wealth Preservation at annexwealth.com/inflation.
In this seller's market, even homeowners are trying to sell their own home. But more times than not, it doesn't work out like they'd hoped. And while homes like theirs are selling, and selling fast for over asking prices, their homes aren't. So what's your next best strategy? Well, if you're looking to relieve yourself of the stress of selling your own home and still get top dollar while getting the full service benefits that an experienced realtor can give you, then look no further. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where 3.5 to 3.9% commission assures that you pay less for full service. Only 11% of those trying to sell their own homes actually succeed. And of those that do sell their own home, they sell on average for 26% less than agented properties. This often negates the savings they were hoping to get by doing it on their own. So why do it on your own when you have an experienced realtor that will give you full service at only 3.5 to 3.9% commission? Don't let your home sit while others are selling faster and at potentially better than asking prices. Call Benefit Realty for a highly experienced agent, and you'll pay less for full service.
You know, most mulch is reclaimed from landfills, but Erickson's mulch is ground from whole trees. Yep, we process the mulch ourselves to keep the prices nice and low, and use only premium colorant so the beautiful look of new mulch lasts. At Erickson's, we never skimp, and that's why first-time shoppers become repeat customers. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. How do we keep our prices so low? That's easy. We've removed the middlemen. Yep, most landscape suppliers have a couple of them in there, and that's okay. But each one of those men in the middle means a higher cost for your mulch, decorative stone, flagstone, and boulders. Feel free to check around. For the quality of our products, you won't find better prices. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926.
This week at Sendik's, fresh California-grown jumbo cherries are just $4.99 per pound. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story. A baby at an Oak Creek daycare suffers scratches and tests positive for cocaine.
I'm Julia Fellow. A forklift traps 2 workers in Racine.
I'm Debbie Loziga. Southbound on 43. It's been kind of a brutal ride this afternoon, and it continues to be so. Right about at North Avenue, we got the right lane blocked with a crash. So that's backing things up pretty much on and off the brakes all the way back past Hampton Avenue. So keep that in mind. The northbound side also going to be slow out of the Marquette interchange all the way up to Keith. We've got southbound 43 heading through the Marquette. Still going to be heavy right through the Marquette all the way down to about the KK River. Westbound 94 backing up out of the Marquette interchange to Mitchell Boulevard. Then you'll ride the brakes once again, crossing over the county line into Waukesha County all the way to about Moreland Road, and then west of Gerke's Corner is going to be heavy all the way to Highway F. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight we have clear skies. It'll be cool. The low will be 48. Tomorrow, sunny skies. 65 at the lake, 70 inland. Friday, mostly sunny as well. 73 at the lake, 75 inland. Saturday, partly cloudy. There's chances of rain. 70 at the lake, 84 inland. 80 Sunday, partly cloudy. 80 inland, 75 at the lake.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the mother of a baby found with cocaine in his system speaks out. Kimberly Hobson says her now 1-year-old son Prince is not the same baby as before he started attending the kinder care in Oak Creek.
Every day he's coming here, I'm thinking he's safe, and it's just a million times worse. I can't imagine how scared he was. And the pain he went through.
The family says it started with noticing several scratches and marks on their infant. Then cocaine was discovered in the baby's urine. This led to police searching the Oak Creek child care facility and finding a plastic bag filled with a white powder later identified as cocaine in an employee's backpack. Police arrested 24-year-old Passion Watson, a child care worker at the Oak Creek Kinder Care, after the discovery. Watson was released on a $1,500 signature bond and is due back in court on June 18th. The kinder care in Oak Creek remains open.
2 people are recovering after a forklift accident happened today at about 10 a.m. at the Case IH plant in Racine. Mount Pleasant police received a report of 2 workers trapped under a forklift. Under the forks of it, it had fallen on them. The forks were raised by the time officers arrived on scene. The workers had significant injuries to their lower extremities. They were taken by Flight for Life helicopter to Freighter Hospital in Milwaukee for critical injuries.
3 Illinois men are in the Walworth County Jail after an attempted burglary. The incident happened Wednesday afternoon at Allridge Electric in the town of Darien. An Allridge employee found a box truck with the men on the property, which fled when police arrived. The suspects led police on a high-speed chase on I-43 into Rock County with 2 rounds of stop sticks being deployed to stop the vehicle. An investigation is ongoing to determine if the suspects can be tied to other burglaries in both Wisconsin and Illinois.
A former Milwaukee County board candidate now charged with felony election fraud. Andrew Matias of Oak Creek accused of falsely certifying at least 3 nomination papers for his own candidacy as Milwaukee County Board of Supervisors for the 17th District. He's scheduled to appear in court on June 10th and faces up to 3.5 years behind bars if convicted.
The annual UPAF Ride for the Arts, presented by Miller Lite, is coming up this weekend.
We always want to make sure that the UPAF Ride for the Arts is a little fresh and new.
The ride will once again take cyclists over the Hone Bridge on a 20-mile loop that runs from Lake Park to Cudahy. UPAF's Katie Korick on Wisconsin's Morning News.
The Hone Bridge is absolutely the biggest draw. It is the only recreational event that uses the Hone Bridge every year.
Families may prefer other course options, including a 1.5-mile roll around Lakeshore State Park. The ride is Sunday, June 2nd. Vince Vitrano, WTMJ News.
You can register on the day of the event. That's Sunday, June 2nd. For more information, look for this story on our website, WTMJ.com.
With the temperatures ramping up and the sun's intensity growing, don't forget to break out the sunscreen for that round of golf or poolside hangout.
30 SPF at a minimum, but it's not the only thing to consider.
It's important to wait for the sunscreen to soak in before getting wet, before you jump in that pool, and also reapplying a couple hours after you get wet or you get sweaty.
Milwaukee County's Chief Health Policy Advisor, Dr. Ben Weston. Sprays versus lotion? Well, that's a personal preference. Here's another tip.
You'll want to use the sunscreen that you're going to actually apply. If it's really expensive for that baby sunscreen, and so you're not going to use quite as much of it on your kid, maybe just get something cheaper. But you want to be able to use sunscreen that has good protection, and you're actually going to use it and apply it well.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Dermatologists suggest using sunscreen every day. Your skin is exposed to the sun's rays.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Brewers manager Pat Murphy confirms reliever Trevor McGill does not have a fractured elbow. McGill took a liner off his pitching elbow in the 10th inning of last night's loss to the Cubs. The two teams meet again tonight. Coverage begins after the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. Block 2 of organized team activities is underway for the Packers, who are on the practice field today. And the Milwaukee Admirals take the ice tonight in California in Game 1 of their conference finals in the Calder Cup playoffs. Puck drops at 9 o'clock Central Time.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:36.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Jeff Levering and wife Ashley love their patio door from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It's so bright, it's so clear. I can see the kids outside playing, and it makes it comfortable for the life we live, which is an active one.
I love the roll screen. The fact that the screen is on the inside.
For the first time, our whole house actually feels like the same climate.
And no drafts. It's a game changer.
Hi, I'm Gina Della from Pella. And if you order today, you get 0% interest for up to 48 months. When it comes to replacing or upgrading your windows and doors, you want to be confident about your decisions. With Pella Design Works, you can see what your home could look like before you buy. Black frame windows or white, vinyl, wood, or fiberglass. Bring your vision to life and rest assured it's the perfect style for your home. Right now, get 0% interest-free financing for up to 48 months when you order by May 31st. Set your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. That's 5/31/2024.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Meteorologist Kristen Kershane is with us. Hey, Kristen.
Hello. No thunder today, thankfully. We're getting a break from all of this wet weather.
I like that. We could use a little bit of a break. Speaking of wet weather, so the grass has grown big time everywhere. I don't know if you saw this story, but Sunburst Ski Hill has hired goats this year. Instead of people using mowers and weed whackers, they've got a bunch of goats that are going to be eating the grass.
Really? I love that idea. I think that is genius.
Kristen, have you done goat yoga yet?
No, I see people do it and I hear about it all the time, but I haven't. Have you?
Yes, in Madison. We got to do that
Tell
together.
Me about it.
It's fun.
We should do it together. What do the goats do though?
There's
while
lots of laughter. They try to get them to jump on you. And
the goats like climb on your back?
They're little, but the ones that are at Sunburst Ski
little,
Hill are about 130 pounds each. Yeah.
Really?
And they can
probably
eat
eat a lot of grass then.
Yeah, about 5 pounds.
Yeah,
right?
5 pounds a day. That's a lot of grass. Day after
yes,
day
and
after day.
they will have a feast in their hands here after all of this rain that we've had. May has been a very wet month, over 6.5 inches of rain so far this month. And for the year, we're close to 20 inches. This year now ranking as the second wettest on record year to date. So pretty impressive.
That's really, really, really wet.
I know.
That's a lot of rain. I came back from being in California, and I felt like I mowed my grass the day before I left, and it needs to be mowed again already. It's super thick.
Yes, it is. And then it's hard to mow when it's thick and then it rains on top of that because then you got to let it dry out. So if you're one of those people who needs to let your lawn dry out for another day, good news, we had the sun today. And then we've got another day of full sunshine on the way tomorrow. So tomorrow's going to be a beautiful day. Temps near the lake in the mid-60s, closer to 70 for inland spots. So, hey, maybe you need to do some yard work tomorrow. It's going to be a great day for it.
The temps are so different, like the swing compared to inland and by the lake. Is that just this time of year, Kristen?
It is. It has to do with the fact that the lake takes a while to warm up, so the lake temperature is still only in the 50s. So once you get that wind that comes off the lake, it picks up some of that cool air and pushes it farther inland. So our inland spots just don't feel as much effect from that lake breeze. But if you're standing right along Lake Michigan, it is going to feel a little cooler over the next few days. By Friday, temperatures near the lake closer to 70, though. Inland temperatures will be more like mid-70s. So again, Thursday and Friday, we're getting that opportunity to dry out here. But we will bring back the chance for rain on Saturday. Doesn't look like a total washout, but heads up, there could be some rain on Saturday. Sunday looking mostly dry. Another chance for thunderstorms back in the forecast by Monday.
How are farmers being impacted by the amount of rain we've had? Is it okay because it's that time of year where they need rain, or are they getting a little too much rain and standing water?
I do not know the answer to that. We would have to ask a farmer, I think. And it probably depends on where you are because, we don't see the same amount of rain everywhere. Yesterday was a pretty good example of that. Brookfield only picked up like a 1/10 or 2/10 of an inch of rain. At my house, we got 2.2 inches of rain. So, it's really highly varied. And so I think it probably depends on what your crops are and what your exact location is.
Meteorologist Kristen Kershane, thank you so much.
Thanks, Kristen.
You're welcome.
I came back after being out of town, and we have a couple places where water stands in our yard, and I couldn't believe how much standing water there was.
Gross.
And you know what that means? Mosquitoes.
And the ticks were just loving it.
Yes.
They were waiting to just pounce on you.
They were. Well, I didn't know that I was coming back with a tick already embedded in the back of my leg.
If you text tick to 855-616-1620, you'll see the photo of the tick that was attached to John's leg.
I was surprised how big it was. I felt something, and I didn't know what it was. I thought I had a scab or a sore or something on the back of my leg, and it was a tick. And the tick is the size of the end of a pencil, like the eraser on the size of on the end of a pencil. It is. But my doctor said I'm good. I know you've been worried, Julia.
I think that you should get tested even after this dose.
You've been doing all your doctor research over there.
Yeah. So after you see the tick and you take it off, which there's a whole thing you got to do.
Yeah.
You did a good job because it's still alive and you put it in a Ziploc bag.
Oh. Yeah, it's right here. It's sitting. Is it creeping you out that this tick?
Yes, it's trying to get out of the Ziploc bag.
You're right. Look, it's up. The zip. It's definitely sealed, but I keep shaking it down to the bottom of the bag, and it crawls up to where the zipper part of the bag is.
It's trying to get back to you.
This thing is huge.
I know, it's very big. And after 3 days to 30 days, that's when you can get tested for Lyme's disease after you've been attacked.
I got the antibiotic. I'm good. During all the breaks on the show, I've been reading all about the different antibiotics. And you have a pharmacy background, so I need to get the exact. Will you feel better if I get you like the name of the actual antibiotic?
Yes, I want to know if it will go into the deep tissue and it'll take care of you.
Okay, I'm only going to make this deal with you. If it's not the right antibiotic and it's not the best one for me, lie to me.
No, I'm going to tell you.
Please tell me. Yes, John. That was right away. You're like, it's not penicillin, is it?
Yeah, it better not be like the lame kind of antibiotic.
Do people even still get penicillin? When we were little, that's all people got.
Yeah, when I was in the pharmacy, a lot of people did. Mm-hmm.
It seems like now when I have anything going on, like, I don't know, once a year I get an antibiotic for something. It's always that 5-day one, the Z-Pack.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
It's never, God, when did I have penicillin last?
The last time, usually the patients would do it like as a prophylactic if they had like heart conditions going to get like a cleaning with their teeth. Yeah, it's not used that often.
Penicillin would be what they would use for that? Mm-hmm. All right, here's what we're going to do. 5:43, what are the stories that we've been talking about all afternoon is this crazy story with the 1-year-old, he's 1 now, who tested positive for cocaine at a very prominent daycare chain, the one in Oak Creek. We're going to tell you that story. Julian Johnson has more information. That is straight ahead on WTMJ.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
Rose Gray from Fox World Travel here to bring you exciting news. In partnership with Globus, Insight Vacations, and Avalon Waterways, our 2025 Fox Group Vacations collection is now available. Whether you want to explore Europe, Hawaii, Asia, or beyond, by land or river, our award-winning Fox Group Vacation experts have handcrafted exclusive experiences for people seeking to explore the world. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. Join us and make memories to last a lifetime.
We find the best way to protect and uphold the reputation of our business is to hire good people and then take care of them. We really do love the people that work for us, and we care about what's in their best interest. And what that means to you is this: someone who's maybe underpaid or doesn't feel appreciated, might not have paid vacations or great work benefits. Our folks have all of these things and more. Vito and I make sure they feel appreciated because happy people do happy work. There's a culture we're building here at Semper Fi that brings respect back to a very hard job. And that's why we know that our crews are going to do the kind of work that you expect. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own Accunet Mortgage, with a tip for today's home shoppers. You already know inventory is low and both competition and home prices are high. That's probably why you should not go with your bank or your real estate agent's mortgage pal for your pre-approval. You see, the banks have lots of branches, fancy headquarters, vice presidents and assistant vice presidents, and the loan officers who get referrals from real estate agents, they're typically very highly paid. Who do you think pays for all that extra expense? Turns out it's you. High overhead and high compensation naturally translate into higher closing costs. At Accunet, our extreme efficiency and low overhead mean your closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 lower than banks and other lenders for exactly the same rate. Don't light your hard-earned money on fire. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval today by clicking on the blue button and put the money you'll save in closing costs towards something for your new home. That's ACCUNET.com.
We're sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment, Flanners.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanners Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanners, just press play.
There's only one store that gives you every possible choice in diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Let's get you home safe with Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb.
Hey there, Julia. Northbound 94, just before Highway K, we got the right lane blocked with a crash. Emergency vehicles are on the scene with this, too. Luckily, folks are able to get past it in the other left lanes, so it's in the right lane. Just heads up with that. We've also got a broken down vehicle. It is a semi. It is off on the left shoulder. Eastbound 94, right about at 68th Street. Just watch out for that. It's pretty close to the driving lanes. So we are seeing delays coming out of the Zoo interchange to that point. Westbound riders, if you're heading home, leaving the Marquette, it's going to be a slow one all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 43 backed up from before Fond du Lac Avenue to Keefe. Southbound slow from before Hampton down past Keefe as well. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, clear skies, cool, low 48 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny. What a great day, a high of 70. Friday, another great day. Sunny, a high of 75. Saturday, a chance for rain, a high of 74. Sunday, partly cloudy, 80 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, very pleasant, clear skies, and 60 degrees.
Just a terrible story out of Oak Creek. I can't even believe it.
It's an awful story.
A child care worker arrested after cocaine was found in the urine of a 1-year-old boy. The boy is not doing too great. Police arrested 24-year-old Passion Watson at the kinder care in Oak Creek. An investigation is underway. That woman has now been charged with possession of cocaine, and the family wants even more charges and more investigation to happen, including with that daycare. Julian Johnson was there. And the parents spoke right in front of the kinder care, right?
Yes,
with their lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the timeline of what they described happened?
So this actually goes back a little further than we originally thought. May 3rd, there was an abrasion on Prince's nose. That's the 1-year-old, then 11-month-old at the time. They got no answers after that. May 14th, the son threw up and then the mother came to come get him. Had no answers. Okay. And the next day, May 15th, the son threw up again around the same time at that. So that's already weird in and of itself. There were scratches and marks on the kid. They found blood on the buttocks area as well. And so then they went to the children's hospital, called police. CPS ended up raiding their house because they thought it was something going on with them.
So they thought it was the parents because the child tested positive.
Well, because then the child ended up testing positive. That was actually the next day the child ended up testing positive for cocaine. And then following up, we got to May 22nd, 24-year-old Passion Watson, one of the child care workers who was taking care of Prince, clearly, was arrested, and she is facing felony charges of child neglect, possession of a controlled substance on or near certain places, and a misdemeanor charge of cocaine. And then they also do not know how the child was exposed to said cocaine.
The question has to be investigated as to how did he get the cocaine in his system. I think it's important to note that he can't walk. He's not at the point of walking yet. So if he's confined to a high chair, how did the cocaine get ingested into his system to a point where it shows up in his urine? Those are the questions that we hope to be answered in the upcoming weeks. We understand and we respect the process of the ongoing investigations, but these are answers that this family needs.
I have to give it to the investigators for trying to put the pieces together and getting a canine to search that facility. And they were able to find that suspect's backpack. Mm-hmm. According to the court records, they found a baggie, and she said that she had been using it. And still, no one knows exactly how the child was exposed, which we just aired.
That's
so
a great
crazy.
point, because this is not a 5-year-old child that could walk and pick up the backpack and play with the backpack. So So she's admitted that she used cocaine socially, I think is what she said, but it was adamant she never used it at the place. And then she said she doesn't know how it got in the backpack, or didn't know it was in the backpack. Is that right?
This is a child, though. Yes. Yeah. But this is a child. You never know how a child, can get into what. They're children. They're curious. So even if that very crazy
child
situation.
Can't walk yet, okay, either she had it on her and it got where the child was, or the child was left unsupervised and crawled around, or got. I don't understand this. There's so many unanswered questions.
What are the long-term effects of this? And that's what the lawyer wants to find out. Take a listen to this.
Prince has all these abnormalities that is really causing a lot of different issues. We have been in contact with KinderCare and their counsel. I think this is the type of case that is so obvious that it's wrong. It's so obvious that it's trauma that resulted from this, that there are short and long-term consequences to cocaine, that hopefully that there's an appreciation of that, and we are able to work together to try to work out a resolution outside of having to turn to our civil system. But in the event that we are unable to do so, a lawsuit is on the table.
So one thing that I would also like to note is that the attorney said that the facility had 23 violations prior to this. 23 is also a big number because Prince actually turned 23 on, I think it was May 23rd. So that's right after the lady got charged, or it was one of those days. I can't remember at the moment. But again, this all happened right before his first birthday here on Earth. All this stuff is happening, and this also brings up the grandmother who's worried about the other children, and also just worried about in general about what's happening there.
This daycare should be closed down. The day they was raided and found the cocaine was a missed opportunity. The owner of this daycare should have demanded that every parent be contacted that day, and all their children should have been sent to some clinic that day to be tested for cocaine. And if the devil who put that cocaine in my grandson, if she has any grandchildren, they should have been tested the same day.
I hope the kids are tested.
There's no indicator that's happened. So think about if you have your child at that daycare, and this is a national daycare chain, a brand that's been respected in the United States. Mm-hmm. What if your kid isn't this kid that was impacted, and now you know that's happened there? All those children, they're right, should be tested. Every single child should be tested, and that place should be turned upside down to make sure there's no residue, nothing else nefarious.
Was that place open today?
From my understanding, it looked pretty open to me. They had a parking lot and everything was just there. It didn't seem as, that's why they said it should be closed down, because it's not. It's not closed down yet. It's like it's running regularly.
Yeah, and the grandmother said, in that soundbite, that all the parents should be notified. Parents have been notified? A 1-year-old was exposed to cocaine?
That's why they said they want accountability. They want accountability for them. That's one of the main things that they want, and because it clearly has not happened. They don't have surveillance cameras or anything, so they weren't even able to tell what actually happened. You can buy surveillance cameras on Amazon. That's what the attorney said. And the fact that you don't have it, maybe this could help moving forward.
How's that not required?
Accountability.
How's that not a state law?
Right.
That you have cameras in child care facilities.
Exactly.
KinderCare released this statement. Nothing is more important to us than the safety of the children in our care. We work hard to create healthy spaces for work, play, and learning. All of our centers and programs are drug, alcohol, and tobacco free. And Watson, by the way, was arrested right there at the facility. That's not traumatic for the children or the other people that are there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the drug-sniffing dogs?
It is 3:24. Julian, thank you so much.
No problem.
Actually, 5:55. Sorry about that. 5:55 at WTMJ. What's on Tap is up next. Actually, it's not. Sorry. What's on Tap is not tonight. I'm looking at a schedule, which is coming up the rest of the week. It's Brewers baseball after the news right here on WTMJ. First, Logan Hansen at the Milwaukee Business Journal.
River West Brew Pub Company Brewing announces its closure after 9 years of operation. The brewery had previously explored the possibility of new ownership or investment options back in January. The Novo Nordisk Bioscience plant plans a $75 million expansion. The proposal calls for a two-story, 52,000 square foot expansion of the West Allis plant for new production equipment. If approved, construction would begin in July with substantial completion in June 2026. Old Guard Games opens in the space formerly occupied by Panda Bookstore on Downer Avenue. Additional plans for the property include a future barbershop and coffee shop, both slated to open in late summer. I'm Logan Hansen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Business headlines sponsored by the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
Milwaukee's finest hotel, the Pfister Hotel, is continuing with renovations to enhance its already stellar reputation. Phase 2